Trailing 2-1. That was Sasser's third two-base hit of the year. He has one home run, and the batter will be Kevin Elster. And he hits a fly ball out to deep left field. It's way back. Bonds to the wall. Going, and gone. Goodbye. Kevin Elster with a two-run home run, and the Mets lead it by a score of 3-2.
Good day for the beach, and the beach towels are out, and it's a good day to hit one out. Kevin Elster's first home run of the year, and only the fourth home run given up by Doug Graybeck in 78+ innings of work. Breaking ball, and again it's up in the strike zone, and Graybeck just can't live up there, and Elster shows why.
Now Sid Fernandez, he was in a bunting situation and didn't bunt. Now a good bunt. The throw to second base in time, and the try for the double play.
Hey. Outstanding.
Good job by Jeffries to start the play. Elster then on to Magadan for the double play that ends the inning. One hit, no one left, and the score at the end of 5.5 innings. The Pirates 3, the Mets 3. Now here's a word from Budweiser. At 3.
Through the magic of videotape, Gary Carter is in the dugout and here in the booth at the same time.
Can't be two places at one time, although every Christmas I ask for a clone.
So you can be two
So
places.
I can be two places at one time.
All right, where are we still trying to get it on track? The season average at 248. And he's out of there on a fastball at the knees. Ossie retires the Pirates in order here in the 7th. And in the middle of the 7th, it's still 3-3. More after this for Nissan. Last time up. And here's the Mex, Keith Hernandez. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here.
Gary Carter joining us for a few innings, and now Keith will be here till the end of the game. And in a 3-3 tie, are you prepared to stay here till the end of the game?
Yes, I will. It's a different perspective up here.
Well, we were talking about it with Gary, how the dugout is really an opportunity, but of course not an everyday opportunity. Really wasn't looking forward to another year in AAA.
Yes.
You're a good assessor of hitters. The Mets are real high on him. How do you feel about it?
He got it.
He did.
Yes.
It's gone. Now how do you feel about it?
He hit a change up there, I believe. Mark's a good high ball hitter, and you know something we've always lacked, and especially now with the injury to Carter, is a right-hander off the bench. And Mark's a good average hitter, a line drive hitter. I think he's going to do a good job for us. He got a nice swing in that high change.
And he drove it out of the ballpark for his second home run of the year, and he gives the Mets the lead once again, this time 4-3. Mark Carrion's first home run this year also broke a tie in a ball game. Here's Kevin Elster, who put the Mets out in front as Carrion takes his curtain call. Elster put the Mets out in front. You ask, you receive.
Yes. Yes, a high change out over the plate. And he kept his hands back and reached out with one hand. That's just good hitting right there. It's good balance, staying back. Out. We're trying the third inning through the 5th with his bayonet. So, Randy, are you awake? Are you ready to come in? If you are, step out and take a bow.
Yeah, he is. He's waving his hat.
You got your bayonet?
You got your camouflage underwear on there? All right, good. All right. You're ready.
Even
There's
in this
nothing you can do.
Right. In this situation, too, you want to guard the line because it is the tying winning run on base.
But a drive to right center field. And this should do it as Strawberry is there and the Mets win.
Good deal. Nice homestand. Short.
Short and sweet because the Mets have swept the Pirates by winning today's game 4-3. Randy Myers picks up his 8th save as the Mets win it 4-3 and sweep this 3-game series before going on to a big series with the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field beginning tomorrow night. Keith Hernandez and I are going to be right back to wrap this one up. Ralph is standing by with Kiner's Corner. We'll have to see if we can get that satellite hookup for Ricky Horton to be his guest. We'll be working on it. We're back to Shea after this for Shell. Now, beginning tomorrow night, the Mets go to Chicago. I think there'll be a couple of folks in Wrigley Field, and with the Mets having the opportunity to take over first place, they've got to start playing better on the road.
Yeah, we do. And like I said, the schedule is road now for around a month. And after that period's over, we get everybody back healthy. So it's important for us to play well on the road. When you play a series like this, particularly in Chicago, when it means the team's in first place, the importance of the series, even though you cannot put that kind of importance on it so early in the season, it makes for fun, and that's what baseball is all about.
Well, there's
or break a stick at in the month of May. Topping the menu is the Catch of the Month by Ken Griffey Jr. Next to play by Corey Schneider, looks like Ron Swoboda's catch 20 years ago. Here Cecil Espy climbs the ladder to swipe a homer. Baltimore's Mickey Tettleton shows no fear as he dives into the stands and holds on. Tettleton was nailed on the month's best play at the plate. Darryl Boston to Matt Murillo for the bang, bang out. It was a month for sizzling hot corner action. Jerry Pendleton ventures far and wide, but gets his man. The Yankees' Mike Pagliarillo does it down and dirty, and his teammate Ricky Henderson is robbed as Steve Buechele throws from his knees. Bringing order to a foul situation is the Cubs' Vance Law. To change the tune a bit, we begin with the month's most precise play-by-play. Brothers on the Hill Comedy Act, Mike Maddox of the Philadelphia Phillies and Greg Maddox of the Cubs. From a fan with foolish pride to one with the month's best effort for a foul ball. Oh, ouch! May had its share of collisions and pain. Ooh. Balance can be a big problem. Baseball isn't always a precise game. It's most important to maintain a balanced perspective and remember that even when things aren't going right, they're not just going through the motions out there. To put things into perspective, here are players who go out of play for fouls that are in play. Houston's Ken Caminiti. And the Mets' Lee Mazzilli. Well, luckily, Lee Mazzilli wasn't hurt on that last play, but some of the Mets are hurt. When we come back, Rusty Staub will talk to the trainer.
He has had 2 runs batted in.
Vance Law with a single and a walk. Still nobody out. Zimmer's had him moving on the bases. Here they go again. It's a line drive. This could be a triple play. 1, 2, 3. Triple play, New York Mets.
Well, there you saw it, a triple play as the Mets get out of the inning with the Cubs scoring just 3 runs.
And on the TWA scoreboard, it's Chicago 6, the Mets 2. It's Don Zimmer wearing number 4, and here's a look at that triple play.
The 7th triple play that the Mets have pulled off. Vance Law with the runners going on the pitch, hits a little soft liner that Magadan catches, steps on first for the force that doubles up the runner on first, and then throws down to Elster, who steps on the bag there for the triple play. While the hit and run was on, no one out, runners are going, and the little soft liner that Magadan catches, and now it's just a matter of completing the play. A triple play. First one by the Mets back on May 30th, 1962 at the Polo Grounds.
Now, the other New York team was also in action on Thursday. The Mets were trying to move a step closer to the Cubs in the NL East standings. Chicago was out to prove that nighttime was the right time. Out to Wrigley now, and it is 2-0 Cubs in the top of the 4th. Howard Johnson at the plate. He takes Mike Bielecki way deep to right field. It's over everything. It's out of here. 2-1 Cubs. It was the 13th homer on the year for Hojo. 3-2 Cubs now, bottom of the 6th. Curtis Wilkerson hits one to left. Is it gone? Cubs say yes, yes. The ump say no way, Jose. Wilkerson later scored on and then 4-3 Cubs, one out. Top of the 9th, Kevin McReynolds goes way back on this Mitch Williams pitch. See ya, and we're tied at 4. Bottom of the 10th now, one out, bases loaded. Rick Rona for Mitch Williams lays down the suicide squeeze bunt on Don Ossie. Magadan's throw can't get McClendon, and the Cubs win this one 5-4. They take 3 of the 4 from the Mets. Lloyd McClendon's has been hot lately. He has 12 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Pedro Guerrero drove in 3.
After this series against the Mets, the Cubs go against the St. Louis Cardinals. That's where they had that big fight last Sunday. Strawberry, it's a fly ball deep to left field. It's going, it's gone, home run. The ball is jumping today.
Gilgus gives up his 4th home run of the year as Strawberry hits it out. It is his 13th home run of the season. In his career now against the Cubs, Strawberry has hit 17 home runs. And that's going to be all for Gilgus as he goes out of the ballgame. As is the custom here at Wrigley Field.
A little bit of an overswing right there, trying to do a little too much with the ball. You don't want to miss those pitches.
Ground ball, base hit. How about that? His first major league at bat. Get him the ball.
This is great in your first major league, AB. Toss that ball in, boys. That's it. You didn't like that one anyway, Calvin Schiraldi. The memento case.
Jeff McKnight with his first major league hit. Charlie Samuel with the ball.
Well, after a big swing trying to pull the ball to right field, he hits a good pitch down and away and drives it the other way. Good hitting.
He's keyed up. He's on first base. He might.
For the first time as a Met, leading off and playing shortstop. First baseman Dave Magadan batting second.
And the first pitch of the game, a called strike. Howard Johnson, a lifetime. And Sutcliffe back with the fame announcer. I said to us, Harry Carey, as he goes in this year. Cubs in his major league career. He takes that contract that is in the end.
Is a Cy Young Award winner.
And that pitch a ball, and he goes to a full count. Sutcliffe is out. And he goes to the defensive outfielder. And the 3-2 pitch. If it goes into the bleachers, they just stayed
somewhere.
And the fastball, and this in 2. And the slider ripped foul bat for Howard Johnson. And he rips this one down the line. If it's fair, it'll be extra bases. It is a fair ball. Fielded by Smith. And Johnson wins the battle against Sutcliffe. He outlasts him as he pulls a double down in the corner.
Yeah, he made him give in. And Sutcliffe finally coming in there with the fastball. What a terrific at-bat by Howard Johnson. His first time leading off with the Mets, his 6th spot in the batting order this year. And he crushes this ball. Fair ball. A good play by Dwight Smith, by the way. Watch Smith make that play. Had that ball gotten by him, Hojo goes at least to 3rd. The Mets 25th in the major leagues in hitting. 25th.
Fastball hit the center field. Coming hard is Macenzo. He makes the catch, and now the throw home, and it is not in time. And Johnson just beats the tag by Berryhill. A fine play by DeCenzo, both in catching the ball and a fine throw.
And good base running by Johnson. He was fooled on the play. There's no reason to go toward home on a play like this, because even if the ball lands in front of him, you can score from third. Just made it. Good base running by Howard Johnson.
So the Mets take the lead 1-0 as we look at it again.
DeCinzo was shallow enough, but the position in which he caught the ball determined whether Johnson went that time. If he's camping under that ball, Johnson stays.
With the wind blowing, and you have to play deep. It's blowing out today. And the error brings up Ryne Sandberg, and he hits a drive to left field. McReynolds over this time making a great play as he makes the catch. The runners were moving on the play, so they can't advance. As the runner DeCinzo goes back to second base, and behind him Webster back to first.
I'll tell you, if I'm the Mets, I appeal at second base, because Webster, when he went to second, brilliant play by McReynolds. Terrific left fielder. That's why the error was that unusual. But when Webster went back to first base, I'm not too sure if he tagged second on his way back to first. He was about a half a step past.
Now with this one already played to take over leadership.
Oh, and it hit Sandberg. It looked like in the elbow. And oh boy, if that hit the elbow, that could be broken. The Cubs hoping that it hit him in the muscle. And the fans here booing. All Gooden was trying to do was come inside on Sandberg. That's all. DeCinzo. So it could have been worse. 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 left. After 3, 4-2. Steve joins Ralph after this by American Express.
And a balk is called on Sutcliffe. Lions, or rather, McKnight scores and Lyons goes to second.
Well, we mentioned that at the start of the ball game with Bob Davidson out here. He calls balks like you would call the numbers, and a balk call gives the Mets the tying run. Sutcliffe making his second balk of the year, and it gives the Mets the tying run. Davidson, of course, calling that balk against Roger McDowell that gave the Dodgers a victory against the Mets in L.A.
Well, you know, here again, the Mets get the tying run, but
St. Louis Brown.
Eddie Goodell, whose number was 1/8.
Stood 3 foot 6 inches tall. Guess what he did?
He walked.
He walked.
That's right.
4 pitches.
Fly ball deep into left center field. Wind's blowing out, and so is the ball. 3-run home run for Kevin McReynolds, and the Mets lead 7-4.
Well, that is a typical Wrigley Field home run with the wind blowing out. A high fly ball getting up on that wind and riding out of the ballpark into the bleachers. Reynolds getting his 6th home run, and the Mets taking the lead. And as advertised, this is a typical hot weather type game. This will be the 7th home run given up by Sutcliffe. It comes off the fastball. Sutcliffe knows it's gone.
You see that head go down after contact on the part of a pitcher, and it's trouble in River City.
And he is also gone along with the ball. As you look at the swing of Kevin McReynolds, that knocks Sutcliffe out of the box, and they're going to the left-hander with Darryl Strawberry coming.
Lyons skies one down the right field line. A long run for Dwight Smith. He gets there. What a play. Ball falls out of his glove. It's a base hit and maybe an error. What an effort by Smith, but Doug Harvey way down the line says he did not have it long enough. Both Jeffries and McKnight score on the play as they were running with 2 out, and it's going to be a base hit all the way. A double and 2 RBIs for Barry Lyons.
Well, he had it in his glove. There was no doubt about it, but when he made contact with the ground, it was jarred out. And this is a great attempt by Smith. He makes the dive right here. It's a fair ball. And now when he hits the ground, it comes out of the glove. And it is a 2-base hit for Barry Lyons. 2 runs batted in. And the Mets lead it by a score of 9-4.
Now you.
Dizzy Dean, pitching great baseball for the Cardinals, came to the Cubs after he injured his arm. There's a drive to deep left. Forget it. Goodbye. Howard Johnson with another home run. And he hits this one out of the ballpark.
Well, there are some Mets fans here. And a lot of them are over where Hojo's ball went out onto Waveland Avenue. Howard with an even dozen now.
So the Mets get their second home run of the game, a 3-run home run, their first by Kevin McReynolds.
Boy, he got all of that ball. That was right in his wheelhouse. And Mitch Webster is just going to admire it like everybody else in the park. Bleacher bums tried to keep it in, but it bounded off the pavement. Bleacher bums tried to keep it in, but it bounded off the pavement. This guy, he's a Cubs fan. He got the ball out on Waveland Avenue, and he threw it back into the park.
Better sign him up. He's got a good arm.
And this guy did great, too. He caught it and threw it onto the field.
And another one hit up the...
Whether or not it works remains to be seen.
Check swing, looper to Magadan, who makes it on the short hop. The throw to second for the force, and now they're going to get Smith in the rundown in a very heady play by Dave Magadan. I don't know whether he did that intentionally, but if he did, terrific play. If he catches it in the air, both runners, and it wasn't high enough for an infield fly. Anyway, still 10-5 after 7. We're back after this from MetLife.
Into a double play to end the inning, and really could have been, if there had been no outs, possibly a triple play again. Magadan takes it on the short hop instead of on the fly, and Johnson gets the force play on the runner moving from first to second, McClendon, and now they have Dwight Smith in a rundown, and they get him to error in this ball game. Check swing, roller back, and this will do it. Aguilera to Magadan, and the Mets win it. Another large amount of crooked numbers on the scoreboard in both the runs and the hits columns as the Mets win it 10-5. Dwight Gooden now 7-2 on the year as the winner. Aguilera picks up his 4th save as he pitches the last 4 innings in relief. And the losing pitcher is Rich Sutcliffe, whose record falls to 7-4. And the Mets avoid the possible sweep with Game 4 of this series here in Wrigley tomorrow night.
Another New York team was also in action on Thursday. The Mets were trying to move a step closer to the Cubs in the NL East standings. Chicago was out to prove that nighttime was the right time. Out to Wrigley now, and it is 2-0 Cubs in the top of the 4th. Howard Johnson at the plate. He takes Mike Bielecki way deep to right field. It's over everything. It's out of here. 2-1 Cubs. It was the 13th homer on the year for Hojo. 3-2 Cubs now, bottom of the 6th. Curtis Wilkerson hits one to left. Is it gone? Cubs say yes, yes. The ump say no way, Jose. Wilkerson later scored on and then 4-3 Cubs went out. Top of the 9th, Kevin McReynolds goes way back on this Mitch Williams pitch. See ya, and we're tied at 4. Bottom of the 10th now, 1 out, bases loaded. Rick Rona for Mitch Williams lays down the suicide squeeze bunt on Don Ossie. Magadan's throw can't get McClendon, and the Cubs win this one 5-4. They take 3 of the 4 from the Mets. Lloyd McClendon has been hot lately. He has 12 hits in his last 23 at-bats. Pedro Guerrero drove in.
Trail by 3.5 games. Bottom of the 4th, the bunt back to Ron Darling. The plays to the plate right in front of him. Instead, Darling goes for 2 and gets nothing. Everybody's safe. It's 3-1 Cubs. Ronnie has nobody to blame but himself. Chicago goes up 4-2, but the Mets get even in the 9th. See you later time for Kevin McReynolds taking the pitch from Cubs relief ace Mitch Williams up and over the left field wall. But after this error by shortstop Jeff McKnight allows Lloyd McClendon to reach base in the 10th inning. The squeeze is on. Pinch hitter Barry Rona gets it down, and McClendon scores the game winner. The final, Cubs over the Mets, 5-4-10. And the Yankees and Red
Rivers between the Pirates and the Mets. Bottom of the 9th, 3-2 New York, thanks to a homer by Darryl Strawberry, but with men on first and second. Gary Reedus grounds it. Kevin Elster makes the stop, but then throws it away. Rafael Belliard never stopped running, comes around and ties it up at 3. That's the score in the bottom of the 10th. Roger McDowell on to pitch. Andy Van Slyke, he's got the single, but watch Strawberry. Doesn't get down far enough, so it's a single and a two-base error. Van Slyke heads all the way to third. Well, Roger McDowell is then given word to load the bases, and they do that. So the bases juiced. One out. Benny DiFastano just got it. Routine double play. Not quite. Great slide by Mr. Barry Bonds. In he goes. The force out wasn't there. And in comes the winning run. And Pittsburgh snaps their 7-game losing streak as the Mets now have dropped 4 out of 5. And I should say, our play of the day came from this game, so stick around for that. But right now, let's go to the play of the day. And for the honors this evening, we must return to Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh for the Pirates and the Mets. And in the spotlight is the guy who has already made the POD a couple of times this season. Not Andy Van Slyke. The Mets center fielder, Lenny Dykstra, who just believes in just throwing his body on the turf and coming up with it. I don't think this guy can catch one standing up, at least not when he knows the POD is on the line. One more time, Lenny Dykstra going horizontal and make Sports Late Night Play of the Day.
Play of the Day, brought to you.
1-1 pitch. There's a drive. Left field. Ball game's over. Ray Quiñones, a home run. His 3rd home run of the season, and they don't believe it. Look at that dugout.
Not feeling well, and Bud Harrelson took over. 3-2. And it's looped out into right center field, a base hit. A big 2-out base hit. Jeffrey scores from third, Strawberry from second, and the Mets lead it 2-0 here in the top of the first.
Base running by Greg Jeffries and Darryl Strawberry to be in a position to take advantage of this little looping base hit by
Mets take on the Pirates in the final game of this 4-game series. This ball hit high in the air to deep right field. Going back is Reedus. It's going, and it is gone. Goodbye. Lenny Dykstra with a 2-run home run, and the Mets lead it 4-0. Second home run given up by Brian Fisher this year.
And also Dykstra's second home run. And I think that's going to be all for Brian Fisher. I think as he goes on the ball that Dykstra that went.
That is Dykstra's first home run ever against the Pirates.
And sometimes that can really foul you up. Sometimes you get enamored with your power when you're a little guy. If you're a big guy, you're supposed to.
And we'll be back in just a moment after this message.
Strike 3 called and the ball game is over. Ojeda's 3rd strikeout ends the ball game as he gives up just 1 run on 6 hits and picks up his 3rd victory of the year with a 6-1 win over the Pirates at Three Rivers this afternoon. After 2 nightmarish endings, a happy one for New York with Game 4 of the series scheduled for tomorrow night here at Three Rivers. Tim and I'll be back to wrap it up, and Ralph will have a on-the-road edition of Kiner.
The 2 home runs and a triple in one ball game. That got him over 200.
Gets a shot at left center field. Dykstra out. Dykstra unbelievable.
To sprout wings. He's in the air when he catches this. Look at that catch.
telling us about it. Look at Mookie. And the batter, Mike Bilecki, fouls the ball off an attempted punt. You could do it, Lenny.
Well, he makes one of the great catches right there. You just can't make it any better.
He loves it.
Had been out since May 9th when he went down with a bad knee and had to undergo arthroscopic surgery. But he returned Monday to the team and was part of the reason for the Cubs' victory at Shea Stadium over those much-hated New York Mets. You see the Hawk, who came in a little bit later on and drove home a run with a sacrifice fly. Bottom of the second, Mackey Sasser lines a single to center, and that gets Darryl Strawberry home, and the Mets had the early lead at 1-0. Top of the fifth, it's 2-0. For Sean Dunston, though, home run number 4, the 2-out, 2-2 Ron Darling pitch. And Darling didn't like what he saw because the Cubs were right back in this thing, knotted at 2-all. Bottom of the fifth, it's still that game. Lenny Dykstra is called out on a check swing by the third base on Tom Hallion. Dykstra starts away. They exchange pleasantries. Hallion says, no, you're paying for dinner later tonight, or something like that. Dykstra charges him, and he will no doubt be assessed a little bit extra fine there. That's Davey Johnson, the manager, trying to hold back his center fielder. Bottom of the eighth, 4-2 Cubs now. Howard Johnson with a slice down the right field line. Look at the great play by Lloyd McClendon. He made it away from the fan right there to get the out. That's a great play. But I tell you what, a little bit later on in our Play of the Day segment, we have one that is even better. You want to stick around for that. You know, we're going to start doing the Play of the Day, and then I guess have another Len Dykstra Play of the Day segment. We have lost track of how many times the Mets center fielder has amazed us with his actions. And we once again have an example of his prowess out there with the leather. The guy must go home and watch these things over and over. He loves every minute of it. Let's go back to Shea Stadium. Sean Dunston of the Cubs at the plate. He lines this pitch from Ron Darling to left center. But no problem. Lenny Dykstra's out there and extends himself to the fullest to make the catch and comes up, yeah, everything's fine. Well, watch it again and really appreciate. If he doesn't put that kind of an effort into it, he doesn't make the catch and doesn't become yet another Play of the Day.
Play of the Day, brought to you by...
Tonight, once again, at Shea to face the Mets. They won there yesterday, but tonight, the Mets had the good doctor on the hill, and Dwight Gooden was looking to go 18-3 lifetime against Chicago. Talk about owning a ball club. Well, he had, got a strikeout there. He only lasted 6 innings, though, because of a sore shoulder. Had to leave the game, but he left in good stead because Lenny Dykstra. Andre Dawson can't quite come down with it. Dykstra's got the homer. The Mets have got the lead. Darryl Strawberry looking for more, but Dwight Smith draws a bead on it, nearly overruns it, comes up with it, and then the rains came in the top of the 7th inning. The Cubs got through that without getting a run, and so they called it a serious rain delay, but they finally said, all right, enough's enough. New York wins it. Gooden goes to 18-3 lifetime against Chicago. So Chicago loses a chance.
Prime candidates. Of course, Michael Jordan gets some votes. He saved his best for the last game of this playoff season. A soaring, floating, coasting, twisting 360 layup under Bill Laimbeer's elbow. Manu Bol of the Warriors didn't like
the Mets. 3-0. To shallow right and down the line and curling into foul ground and reaching up and making the catch is Mazzilli. Nice play, thinking about the barrier and the breeze and the wet track as well, and the fans. But Maz stays with it, and we go to the bottom of the 8th.
On the trucks that shows him pulling the ball a lot more this year, maybe trying to hit home runs.
To deep right field, and happy birthday, Darryl Jr. I tell you, 1 year the kid's going to be real disappointed with a triple. Strawberry hits his 15th of the season, and appropriately with the bases empty. That's 12 of the 15 with nobody on.
Jim, you talk about the breaking ball speeding the bat up, and that's what the breaking ball of Steve Wilson did to Strawberry then.
Kurt Wilkerson hits it in the air to McReynolds. And West does the job. So he comes in to set down all 6 men he faces. Impressively, bottom of the ninth, 3-1 Cubs. Back at Shea after this word from our ABC stations.
Guys have really tried to bunt. You'd think they'd be pushing bunts to the other side.
Jeffries lines one into left field for a base hit. And the Mets have the leadoff man on here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Williams right around.
Sandberg on the grass. And there are 2 down. So the Mets are down to their final out with Jeffries at first base. And Keith Miller comes up to hit for West.
Lead.
Line toward left center field. Walton on the run. Dives, has it kicked away from him. Jeffries is on his way to third. He'll stop there on a double by Miller, who is the tying run at second.
Well, this certainly makes things interesting. Walton shading Miller over to right center. And Keith Miller with a big hit right now. Howard Johnson coming up. Now do you walk Johnson and put the winning run on base to pitch to Magadan? We'll see. A nice effort by Walton. But this ball, had he played it safely, he may hold Miller to first base. But you can understand Jerome going for the win. He broke his left elbow in high school. I think they're going to walk him. He broke his left elbow in high school. And Magadan, a contact batter. As you said, Jim, the 328 lifetime average coming this year against left-handed pitchers. This year it's different, however, but look at the career versus left-handers for Dave Magadan.
Tying run Miller at second. Winning run Johnson at first. Off they go, and the 3-2 pitch hit into center field for a base hit to tie the game with the winning run Johnson at third. To center field to tie it, and Strawberry at the plate with a chance to win it. And Strawberry fights it off. It's a hand-swing grounder to third, and Wilkerson's throw is just in time. But in the ninth inning, before the Mets go down, they tie it. Down to their last strike, they get 2, and at the end of 9, it's 3-3.
That's a lot of arm problems.
Got him looking. And McClendon has really been cooled off tonight. Lloyd is 0 for 6. Cubs leave 2 in the 12th. At the end of 11 and a half. Cubs 3, Mets 3. We'll return to see after this word from our EBC stations. For Greg Jeffries, he gets a key hit in the ninth inning to start the rally to tie it, and then wins it in the bottom of the 12th.
Greg Jeffries and David West, roommates in the minor leagues last year at Tidewater. And David West, even though he pitched earlier in the ballgame, the first guy out of the dugout to congratulate his ex-roommate.
And so a long, long, long night, particularly for the Chicago Cubs, who head to Canada now, having seen a victory taken from their grasp. They were one strike away with Mitch Williams in the 9th inning and lose it here in the 12th.
A great confidence booster for Jeffries, who's been struggling. Yet they hit a home run, but game-winning double. Reactions to the Mets bench. And they know they've just won the ball game.
So Elster scores the winning run on the base hit by Jeffries at 1:25 in the morning. It's over. And the Mets win it by a score of 4-3. Thus, Chicago still leads in the East. Montreal losing tonight a half game back. And the Mets and the Cardinals each win to close to within 2.
3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Mets.
So that's the story from Shea Stadium. Al Michaels with Jim Palmer and Tim McCarver. Until next Thursday, saying goodnight from...
To do with a pennant fever. Tonight, Chicago entrusted their half-game lead in the East to Greg Maddux. An insomniac special, a couple of rain delays. But the Mets trailing off the bat of Ryan Sandberg. His 9th of the year, 1-0. Went to the bottom of the 8th, 3-0 Cubs. Darryl Strawberry makes it 3-1, a solo home run off Steve Wilson. Bottom of the 9th, Mitch Williams in relief. So much for relief. A 3-2 pitch to Dave Magadan brings in the tying run. Bottom of the 12th, 2 outs. Pinch runner Kevin Elster at second. Pat Perry to Greg Jeffries. Jeffries comes up with the winner as the Mets hold on with a couple of rain delays to beat the Cubs by a final of 4-3. And it was Dave Magadan with the game-tying base hits. It was Greg Jeffries with the game winner. And the Montreal Expos in St. Louis tonight in second place and a half game.
Really had a problem.
Comes back with a fastball hit up the middle, a base hit. 2 runs will score. The Mets will lead it 2-0. Wilson first, and then McReynolds. And going to third on the single is Darryl Strawberry, and the Mets on top.
And it's safe to say that Greg Jeffries is back. Jeffries with a big hit in last night's ball game, and he hits this ball right on the button, right up the middle. There's the Jeffries swing. Boy, he has a nice swing. Ralphie mentioned it in the pregame show. He has a nice swing from both sides of the plate.
So Jeffries with 14 hits down his last 31 at-bats, and you see Strawberry do a fine job of base running, going from first to third on the single to center. And a wild pitch, and a run will score. So the Mets make it 3-0 as Ruffin makes his second wild pitch of the inning. And 1 ball, 1 strike. And a line drive base hit into the corner. That'll score Jeffries from second base. Magadan on to second with a double, and the Mets now lead it by a score of 4-0.
What an organization this club has built up. Greg Jeffries, number 9. Born and brought up in that organization. So is this guy, Dave Magadan. Boy, good stroke. Got the head of the bat on the ball. We've seen the ball get in on Dave Magadan because he hasn't really played every day. Now he's playing a lot more and getting the head of the bat, the barrel of the bat on the ball.
Magadan, since taking over for Keith Hernandez, who went on the DL in 25 games, hitting 3.
This is a break for the Phillies, Ralph.
Time is called, as Harry Wendelstedt says, I want the tarp put on the field as the rain continues here at Vet Stadium. So Jeffries with a key base hit to put the Mets up by a score of 2-0. And now the tarp. And he comes inside. It's chopped down to third. Tough play for Reddy. Quickly goes to first, but not in time. A run scores, and the Mets lead 5-0. Magadan crossing home plate.
Well, the best way to keep a guy off the plate is to jam him. And Kevin Elster get jammed. Randy Reddy getting the ball over to first base, but not in time.
Hard ground ball that goes by the third baseman Randy Reddy, and David Cone gets a base hit off the left-hander. And the Mets now have runners at first and second as Elster moves on down to second on Cone. Runners go on a hard ground ball for a base hit. Elster comes around to score. The Mets lead it by a score of 6-0 as Mookie Wilson gets his second hit of this inning.
And it's unbelievable, really. 2 hits in the first inning for Mookie Wilson. And the Mets, after winning that ball game last night against the Cubs, are smoking hot right now. Mookie going down.
Mets leading by a score of 6-0. And a drive into center field, a base hit. Cone coming around third, waved in to score. It's now 7-0 as the Mets continue their onslaught against Bruce Ruffin. And the fans here are getting very vocal. And another base hit. This one hit hard to center field. Mookie Wilson comes in to score. Johnson goes to third. And McReynolds, who had walked his first time up, singles to center and drives in a run. The Mets 8, and Philadelphia has yet to come to the plate. Swing and a miss, and Strawberry is struck out, and that ends the inning. Mets send 13 to the plate. They score 8 runs, and the score at the end of 1/2 inning. The Mets 8, the Philadelphia Phillies coming up. He got in a Philly uniform. And a home run. And after 1 inning of bombardment here at Vet Stadium.
Phillies leave 3 men. It's still 10-9. At 12:41 a.m., that's Dave Raymond. I tell you, he does a heck of a job. It's one of the real enjoyable mascots that are in baseball. And Magadan hits a shot down that right field line. He's going to get at least 2 here. Let's see, the throw's coming in. No play at second. And Magadan pulls the ball sharply again, Ralph. Third base that he beat out, got an RBI. And he struck out and lined out to center. This is a high fly to center. Magadan halfway, and they let the ball drop. The Mets are going to score and tie this up. Elster gets tagged out at second base. I don't know whether Elster was watching that ball. I'll tell you what, Juan Samuel in center field should have caught that ball, Ralph.
I thought he had it all away, and at the last minute he decided to pull up on it.
Two men down. He drives this ball left center field. Should be extra bases. Kruk on the move. Outstanding play. John Kruk. Tip your hat. Unbelievable play by number 11. Taking an extra base hit away from number 18, Darryl Strawberry. So the Mets go down 1-2-3 here in the 7th inning. An outstanding play. You'll see it again when we come back.
It would fit the script.
Good breaking ball right there. So Myers strikes out Jordan, but the Phillies take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning with their 11th run. They now lead the Mets 11-10. Legs is a lot more comfortable. It's a ground ball at third base. Ready. Gets Jordan off the base, and Jeffries is safe.
That's the reason why you run balls out to first base, because you just never know what's going to happen. Reddy not real happy, yelling at the umpire, but he's not the umpire's not the one that made the bad throw. Leyva coming out to argue. That first baseman, a lot of second basemen really get close to the bag. He does not.
There goes Jeffries. Hit and runs on. Swung on and missed. The throw. Not in time. Stolen base. Greg Jeffries.
I think that was a steal where Mazzilli swung at a fastball. Here's the pitch. It's a good pitch to hit. Mazzilli just underneath the pitch. Dive in by Jeffries. Watch him. He's just going for that outside part of the bag. Good slide by Jeffries.
One man down. Oh, there's a rope. Extra base hit for Sasser. Boy, can Davey Johnson make those moves. Jeffries scores. Here comes Mazzilli. We got to play. No, we don't. Safe. The Mets take the lead at 1:30 in the morning.
Mackey Sasser jumps on this heater, pulls it right down the line. The big question is Mazzilli going to get around and score on this ball? Von Hayes is in right. He's going in the corner. Takes him a little while to get that ball coming out. Maz is coming all the way. Pretty good relay throw, but it's a little bit to the right side that allows Mazzilli to catch the front part of home plate. Darren Daulton diving back in, but a lot of hustle by Maz. He knew he was going to go all the way.
0-1 on Dykstra. There's a drive to right field. That ball's way back. Von Hayes gloves it. Sasser scores easily. It's now 13-11. Mets.
Lenny Dykstra will take the RBI and the sac fly, but I think everybody in the ballpark thought that might get out of here. Bedrosian, it was a slider. Dykstra hit it hard. You see he's right up against the wall. No chance to stop the run from scoring on a sac fly. And a kind of happy but a little bit disappointed Lenny Dykstra.
Third, I believe.
Yes.
1-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. Strike 3. So the Phillies go down. They strand a runner. We've played 8 innings. Score 13-11 Mets. One on Greg Jeffries. The boys are relaxed.
The boys are slap happy about now.
Well, Sid's got them all going. We're talking about hitting. Up there he goes
again. He's going to grab that bat again. Nope.
Oh, way inside. Once again at the legs. 2-1.
Again, Bedrosian.
The outfield's a little shallow, too.
Not really.
No?
No.
Yes, they are. Goodbye. They were shallow. Home run, Greg Jeffries. Do it. 1:50 in the morning. Now, that's when you can hit.
Runs 14 and 15. Might be the insurance the Mets needed. The way this game has gone, a 2-run lead in the ninth would not be a surety for sure.
Well, Davey Johnson with a big smile because he stayed with Greg Jeffries.
He hit a ball like that earlier in the game, but he hooked it foul. He really got the bat head out on that one.
And Dave Magadan, the batter, takes a strike. The Mets stayed with Jeffries, and now he's starting to pay off.
Watch the turn on this. Quick hips. Boom. Wow. No doubt about it.
Down low, much more comfortable he is now.
Watch the explosion. The explosion of the body and hips all at the same time. Wow.
Out, you are an outfielder. There's a drive to left field. It's way back, but McReynolds has room, and this game is over at 1:58 in the morning. Top of the morning to you. So Randy Myers doing the job. How about all those runs? 15 runs for the Mets, 11 for the Phillies. There's the time.
That's the exact same score of the last game, although the Phillies did reverse it on Pittsburgh. The score was 15-11.
Excellent point. And we'll be back.
Have been shadowing the Mets for a week, and tonight it would be no exception as New York traveled to Philadelphia. So let's go to the vet and Philly. This is right off the top of the first inning. Greg Jefferies sends it back up through the middle. That's going to bring in 2 runs. In fact, it was 4-0 New York. They're not even out of their half inning, and we have to bring out the tarp. We've got a rain delay. Well, after the delay, it's 5-0. Men still on base, and then the Mets come up with 3 consecutive singles, and by the time their half inning is over, it's 8-0 New York. But, folks, this game is far from being finished because in the bottom of the first, finally the Phillies get to the plate. Randy Reddy leads it off against David Cone, and it's gone. That's one good way to get yourself going, so it's 8-1. Next man up is Tommy Herr. He likes what Cone's got. In fact, he sends it to center. Mookie Wilson probably should have this, but it hits him in the leg. It gets by him. Herr goes into second. Then just minutes later, Big John Kruk lines one up the middle. Mookie won't get to that one. Herr scores. Kruk's got a triple. By the time one inning is over, it's 8-5. And once again, we're going to see the tarp and the umbrellas because we've got another rain delay. We'll pick up the action in the bottom of the third. The score is 9-6. Dickie Thon bounces it up the middle. That brings in Kruk. That makes it 9-7 the Mets. That's it for David Cone. Let's move ahead to the 7th. There were no more delays. Randy Myers pitching. Juan Samuel, who homers. He lines this one, though, into the gap. Von Hayes scores. Samuel comes up with a triple. And the Phillies have come all the way back, trailed 8-0 after half an inning. They lead 11-10. And that's the score in the top of the 8th when Mackie Sasser drives it down the first base line. That's going to bring in Greg Jefferies. That's going to bring in Lee Mazzilli, who just does beat the tag at the plate. And then Greg Jefferies with homers as well. And finally, after beating the raindrops and dodging them and waiting them out, the Mets come away with a 15-11 victory. A long, long night. What a week this has been for the Mets. You want to talk about being waterlogged. They were rained out on Monday. They were able to play on Tuesday. On Wednesday, they played, but there was rain. The game finally had to be called after 6.5 innings. Then yesterday, the game lasted 12 innings, 5 hours and 15 minutes it took after 2 delays totaling over an hour and a half. And then tonight, there were 3 delays totaling nearly 3 hours. Long, long.
This ball hit deep to left center. Back is Kruk. Back is Samuel. Off the top of the wall. Johnson's going to score. McReynolds has a double. 1-0 Mets.
You hear the crowd, and it is a big crowd on hand tonight. Kevin McReynolds comes very close to a 2-run home run. Kruk and Samuel can only watch it because it hits just right on, it looked like, the yellow line. I mean, they missed it by inches, maybe a foot.
The ball was actually, the hitter made contact 2 steps in flight, either to right center or left center.
Strike 3 call. John will just stand there and think about it for a minute. Ojeda strikes out his 5th batter and has now retired 10 in a row and leads 1-0 after 7. Back after this for Michelob Drive. Grounded up the middle and just under Ojeda's glove. Elster will have to hurry, and he gets it. Good play by Kevin Elster for out number 2.
It was made a better play, not only because of the speed of the ball, but because the ball stayed down on him. And Elster knew he had to hurry and did perfectly. Good play by Elster. Watch how the ball skids and stays down. It's obviously a tougher play when you're moving to your left. There's no hop there, so you have to bend farther.
He is grounded out twice and popped out. Skies it in the air to center field. Len Dykstra. And the Mets have won 4 in a row. What a night for Bob Ojeda. Bobby's 3rd complete game of the year, but his first shutout of 1989 as he goes the distance for the 2nd consecutive outing. The Mets have won 4 in a row. Ojeda has won 2 in a row. His record now 4-6 on a 3-hit shutout. And Larry McWilliams, who pitched very well, takes the loss. McWilliams also went the distance. He is now 2-7 on the year. Timmy and I will be back to wrap it up from Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Stay with us. Mets win it 1-0, and we're back after this for Bud Light.
Well, before we go to the scoreboard, we do have a blockbuster trade made by the New York Mets. Lenny Dykstra has been traded to the Philadelphia Phillies. Along with Lenny Dykstra, also Roger McDowell. So Lenny Dykstra and Roger McDowell going to the Philadelphia Phillies, and coming to the New York Mets is Juan Samuel. Juan Samuel, who plays second base and the outfield, coming to the Mets. Dykstra, with a lifetime batting average of .279 with 29 home runs and 116 stolen bases, going to Philadelphia, along with Roger McDowell. Roger with 84 saves, third in the all-time list for the New York Mets. And McDowell this year with a record of 1-5 and 4 saves, and his overall record 33 wins, 29 losses, and 84 saves. Juan Samuel here this year hitting at .249. He has 8 home runs and 10 stolen bases. And Samuel with a lifetime batting average of .264, 100 home runs, 247 stolen bases, 6 years in the major leagues. So a blockbuster trade by the New York Mets. Lenny Dykstra and Roger McDowell going to the Philadelphia Phillies for Juan Samuel.
Just kidding, fellas. Just kidding. You know. That hit him. So a big day for the Mets, right?
Yes, and most importantly, as Carol pointed out to me, they didn't have to give up any of their starting pitchers.
That's right.
Very good point, Carol.
Thank you.
If you don't believe the Mets made a blockbuster trade today, then you don't understand the popularity of Lenny Dykstra. If you're puzzled about the swap, you don't know the talents of two-time All-Star Juan Samuel. Yes, Samuel will play center field and second base for the Mets, while Dykstra and Roger McDowell toil for the last-place Phillies. The Mets and Phillies announced their swap after the game.
What we've been trying to do with our ball club is to add another offensive dimension that can help us score more runs and steal more bases, be a little bit more aggressive, and we feel like in Samuel, he's that type of individual. The 2 players that we gave up, obviously, are favorites of all of ours. Roger McDowell has been a super relief pitcher for us, and Lenny Dykstra has been a terrific center fielder for us for the last 4 or 5 years.
Mets fans love Dykstra. His hard-nosed play earned him the nickname Nail. His circus catches became routine.
I've been here 5 years, my 5th year, and I never did have a chance. I always had to walk in the clubhouse and look at the lineup, and that was always frustrating to me. Now I can walk in the clubhouse and do what I have to do and not worry about who's pitching or what the situation is. So I'm real happy about that.
McDowell was the Mets court jester, an inventive clown and practical joker. But he lost his closer job to Randy Myers last year.
The main thing I want to do is be able to pitch and pitch effectively, and that's the only thing I'm looking forward to.
Samuel will give the Mets more offense and speed. He'll play center field. Then he could be switched to second base, moving Greg Jeffries third.
They're winners, and I think I'm a winner, so I think I'm going to do just fitting. I think I'll be perfect over there.
The Mets have been looking for a spark to get them going. They've been spinning the wheels all year. You think you're the spark?
Well, I wouldn't say so, but I definitely will play hard like I normally do. Just go out there, give my mind 100%, try to do the things I do most.
The Phillies also traded their best relief pitcher, Steve Bedrosian, to the front-running Giants for pitchers Dennis Cook, Terry Mulholland, and minor league infielder Charlie Hayes. As for today's game, another weak start by Ron Darling. He lasted only 2 innings. He had problems with his control. His bases-loaded walk to Samuel in the first allowed Tommy Herr to skip home to open the scoring. Later in the first, Darling's 0-2 pitch, walloped by Kurt Ford, almost a 3-run homer. The double scored John Kruk and Von Hayes. Both had walked 3-0 Phillies. Then Darling was tagged for a sac fly, a 4-run first inning for Philly. Howard Johnson at shortstop with a leaping catch, robbing Steve Jeltz. And then in the 3rd inning, Hojo stroked a Ken Howell pitch with the bases empty. Johnson's 16th cut Philadelphia's lead to 5-2. Dave Magadan added a solo shot. The Mets scored another before Jeff Parrott's wild pitch in the 8th enabled Hojo to score a 5-5 tie. Randy Myers in relief, Phillies ninth. Von Hayes at the plate, leadoff batter, and you can kiss that baby goodbye. The Phillies won 6-5 on Hayes' 13th. Myers failed in the clutch, the Mets ending a 4-game winning streak, the Phillies stopping a 4-game slide. After the game, McDowell's wife heard about the trade from Roger. Of course, he was standing in the bullpen. Samuel will be in center field when the Mets start a series tomorrow night at Shea against the Expos. Ricky Henderson can...
The vet, and look at little Chance Ruffin with some help from Dad Bruce crossing the plate. Phillies scoring 4 times in the first, and look at Howard Johnson robbing Steve Jeltz with a diving grab. In the top of the 8th, Jeff Parrott uncorks a wild pitch. Hojo comes in to score, and that would tie the game up at 5-5. In the bottom of the 9th, Von Hayes at the plate off Randy Myers. Hayes sends one right over the right field wall, his 13th of the season, as he likes that new contract. As the Phillies get the win, they end their 4-game losing streak against the Mets, and the Mets are in 3rd place in the East, now 2 games behind Chicago. And at Busch Stadium, the Pirates over the Cardinals. Gary Redus hit a 3.
Infielder Charlie Hayes. Then after their meeting with the Mets, the Phils announced another deal, sending center fielder Juan Samuel to their arch rivals.
Well, I think I'm going to find out the personality of the ball club, but they're winners, and I think I'm a winner, so I think I'm going to just fit in perfect. I think I'll be perfect over there.
While Samuel waits to see if he'll return to his all-star position in the infield at New York or remain in the outfield, Roger McDowell and Lenny Dykstra get ready to turn crimson.
If I had to pick a place to get traded to, I told my wife that this would be one of my top 3 choices. I've always hit well here. I like the atmosphere, and the team's got a chance. Not right now, but they're showing that they want to win. They're making some moves, and I'm going to do everything I can to help them win. That's my trademark.
I'm happy that I'm going to get the opportunity to pitch in situations where I hadn't been used a lot this year. I was used early in the season a little bit, but over the last month, I wasn't used in a lot of key situations. So I'm happy that I'm going to get that opportunity.
Well, perhaps in the
plate and Gross on the mound. Here he is. Reaction for Juan Samuel, I should say, nice reception. I don't think we meant it like that. There's a drive, left field. It's way back there, but caught on the warning track. Tim Raines making the grab. Listen to the reaction.
Well, that's something he didn't get in Philadelphia. He gets an ovation for flying out to left field. Really a tough place to play ball. Gets a big smile from Juan Samuel. He says, how do you like that for a greeting from the fans? Keith Hernandez probably said, you never got that in Philadelphia. Gets a high slider right here, and he doesn't quite get it all. He has tremendous power. And even though he hit it near the trademark, he puts the left fielder Raines back to the back of the warning track.
Cognizant of the off-speed pitch this year than ever before. 1-1 pitch. There's a drive. It's way back. Is it fair? Home run, Howard Johnson. 2-1 Mets. We're only in the first inning.
Giving up his 10th.
5-1. There's Hojo.
Now, this is an off-speed pitch. He's a little bit out in front of it. Look how fast that bat comes around. Takes that curveball, just drills it deep down the right field line, hitting the foul screen. And why is it called a foul screen? Because if you hit the screen, it's a fair ball. It should be a fair. Oh, here's the swing again. Now, this is a breaky ball, off-speed, and he gets onto that ball and just puts that fast hand action into it. Strawberry's hit on the foot. He's known for hitting batters, but he hit him the foot. I wasn't throwing at you.
Left fielder, number 22, Kevin McDonald.
Well, Gross hits his third batter this year, as we mentioned earlier. He led the league in hitting batters last year with 11. He now has hit 47 batters in his major league career. So he's answering back, you know, I'm not throwing at you.
They're not universally accepted by all pitchers. Sometimes you have different signs for different pitchers. And there's a long drive, deep to right, up off way back, it goes gone. Home run number 2 for Howard Johnson tonight. Oh, is he hot?
Last 17 games, Howard Johnson has had 8 home runs. His second in this ball game tonight at 2 at-bats. And the Mets leading by a score of 4-1. No doubt about it. Got a balloon on the field. Here it is. It's an off-speed pitch. It's a slider, and Johnson knew he had it. So twice he's hit breaking balls out of the ballpark, and Kevin Gross. And a drive to deep right center field, way back. Center fielder Martinez to the wall, and he makes the play. Johnson with a long drive to right center and is good for his 3rd home run in the ball game. And the extra base hit taken away.
Standing ovation for Howard Johnson. We were talking about how many pitches Dwight Gooden, throws in the game. He's thrown 116 tonight. As a look at Howard Johnson, just a little bit on the end of the bat. He put a good swing on it, but he really didn't hit it on the screws. Right at the fence, Martinez. Third base.
So now Nelson Santovenia, the batter, he singled his last time up, and this one popped up and playable. It should be the ball game. Dave Magadan makes the play, and the Mets win it by a score of 5-3. So Doc Gooden gets his 100th career victory. He has lost only 37, the all-time best winning percentage in the major leagues. And Doc coming up with a victory. Aguilera gets a save, his 6th save of the year. Losing pitcher in the ball game, Kevin Gross. He's now 6-6. There you are. Doc Gooden compiling 100 victories here tonight as a winning pitcher. His 6th year in the major leagues, and the Mets win it by a score of 5-3. We'll be back for the recap in just a moment, right after these messages.
Dwight Gooden became the 3rd youngest pitcher to win 100 games. He's 24 years, 7 months old. Only Bob Feller and Noodles Hahn were younger. 5-3 over Montreal. Howard Johnson batting in the 1st against Kevin Gross. There goes his 17th homer of the year off the foul pole. A 2-1 Mets lead. The next inning, Johnson again. Aren't you glad they didn't trade him? Another 2-run homer. His 18th, a 4-1 lead. As for Juan Samuel in his debut, a stolen base here in the 4th. He was 0 for 3 with a walk. He did score a run on this sequence. Mets and Montreal are now tied for 2nd, a game and a half behind the idle Cubs. By the way, Noodles Hahn retired in 1906 with only 129 wins. The newest Met, Samuel, held a news conference and said how much other teams hate the Mets.
You guys all know how other teams feel about the Mets. And everybody hates the Mets. And I'm going to be hated by the other teams because I'm a Met.
Well, Samuel may help, but the Mets continue to let players with spark slip away. The loss of Ray Knight, Backman, Dykstra, and McDowell has to hurt. The Yankees
We're facing Montreal tonight. Look who's in center field, Juan Samuel. First time as a Met there, bottom of the first, 1-0 Expos. Howard Johnson has been hot, slams his 17th home run, a 2-run shot off the right field foul pole to make it 2-1 Mets. Bottom of the second now, 2-1 New York. Juan Samuel at the plate. He was 0 for 3, lines this shot to short. Spike Owen makes the leaping grab, robs Samuel of his first hit in the Met uniform. Still bottom of the second. We mentioned that Hojo was hot. How about another one? This one off Kevin Gross again. Number 18, mate David Magadan was aboard. And it's still not too exciting for the former president. But bottom of the third, 4-1 Mets. Kevin Gross, the ball gets away from him. Greg Jeffries is hung up, tries to go to third, and the major league rally here, or rundown, if you're scoring 2-1 to 4 to 5 to 4 to 5 to 6, and the out. That's what you call your big league rundown. Dwight Gooden looking for win number 100, strikes out Mike Eldreddy, swinging in high heat in the 7th, and Dwight would get it. The final score, 5-3, as the Mets move to within a half game of the Expos, and Gooden becomes the third youngest pitcher in modern baseball history to win 100 games. There you see the other names, pretty good company. Bob Feller and Frank Hahn. Now Dwight's there. He was also the youngest to win 20 games at age 20. That's going to do it for the National League. Coming up, a had to scratch Darryl Strawberry from their starting lineup tonight. X-rays taken today show that the straw man has a broken toe after being hit by a pitch there on Monday. His status still up in the air as the Mets hosted the Expos at Shea. Bottom of the first, where the Mets jump all over Dennis Martinez. Sid Fernandez rips the single down to left field. Mackie Sasser digging around third, slides in safely. And it was 5-0 New York early, top of the fourth. One man on. Andres Galarraga launches one off Fernandez. This is a rocket off the Newsday side in left field. And it was a 2-run home run for the Big Cat, top of the 7th. 5-3 New York. QB Brooks drives one to deep center field. And look at Juan Samuel. Doesn't take long for him to pay his dividends. Just over from Philadelphia in the trade. Top of the 8th, 2-on. Tim Raines with a clutch hit to right field off Rick Aguilera. Otis Nixon comes around to score. So does Rex Hudler. And this ball game was quickly tied at 5 apiece till the top of the 9th. Tied at 5. Little deja vu. Raines again delivers with a clutch hit off Aguilar to center field. 2 more runs come around to score. And that puts it in the books for the Expos as they won it. The final score was 8-5. Snaps a 3-game skid for Montreal. And pretty much the story for New York. They stranded 11 runners. Now to Three Rivers with the Cubs. Cardinals, Jose Aquindo at the plate, lifts one to left center, and we've seen him do it so many times at Shea Stadium. It doesn't matter what uniform Lenny Dykstra has on. He's going to dive and make the catch to end the Cards' 5th, and they get a 5-run inning as St. Louis wins game.
Very nice touch, especially on the first day of summer. There's the way the standings look as the St. Louis Cardinals are in a tie with the Mets for 3rd. Philadelphia coming to play the Mets in the next series.
Broken toe. It looks as though that Mookie might be in here for some time.
As the case. Hit deep to right center.
How about it? How about getting out of here?
And off of the glove of Hubie Brooks. Jeffries on his way to third being held there. And on the ball, driven to deep right center. The Mets have runners at second and third. And we'll see how it scores.
Well, I think for as long as he ran for that ball, pretty good chance it could be a hit. But that was definitely a break for us, Ralph. No question about it. See that here we were talking about the kind of slump that Mook's in, and he comes right there and hits a ball almost 400 feet.
It is being scored an error on the right fielder Hubie Brooks. That's a 2-base error. And as you said, Gary, could have gone either way. It let them in. And it's hit to right field and deep enough to score the run.
Yeah.
Hubie Brooks makes the catch, tagged up at third base. Is Jeffries, he comes in to score, and Mookie Wilson moves over to third on the out. So the Mets take the lead 1-0 on the sacrifice fly.
See, that's all you need to do. That's the name of this game up here, right, Ralph? All you need to do is just talk about a deficiency, and then all of a sudden it happens in the positive manner.
That is right, but say something the other way, and
then it happens completely opposite.
The mails are flooded. So the Mets leading 1-0.
That's great for Berry. That's great hitting, too. He went with the pitch, went the opposite field. Not only got the run in, but moved Mookie.
And a hard ground ball to third, and Mookie in a rundown. Throw in to Mookie. And now it's going to be a double play. So Elster runs into the double play to end the inning. But the Mets do get 1 run. And the Expos nothing. Now here's a word from your tri-state time. And this ball popped up, and it will be playable. Elster back into a position deep at short, makes the play. Martinez bluffs but doesn't come, and Foley is out. Behind him.
Yes, he is.
Now the 3-2 pitch, and he hits the slider right at the second baseman. Jeffries late with the play, but the throw to the plate is in time as Lyons blocks the plate and keeps the runner off. Good play by Lyons at home plate as he kept the runner away from the bag. And Martinez thrown out by Jeffries. Jeffries having just a little bit of a delay on the throw home as he had trouble fielding the ball.
Yes, he did, but boy, what an outstanding play. He stayed with it, had a great throw home, and Berry, just an outstanding play blocking the plate there. That's a great play on Berry's part. And there again, Andres Galarraga trying to go to the opposite field when he got that 2 strikes, just trying to drive the ball somewhere. Breaking ball, good pitch by Coney as well. All around good play. Looks like Martinez a little upset he didn't score on that one.
There was a
Berry doing a great job.
And the 2-0 pitch in the air to left center field. McReynolds has time to get back. The ball carrying well. He makes the catch against the fence to end the inning. So the Mets get away from a leadoff triple as Montreal doesn't score, and they leave 1 man on base. The score at the end of 5.5 innings. The Mets 1 and Montreal nothing. Now here's a word from the bell.
Taking Dave Magan out of the line. He was hitting 340 since I've been out, and he's been driving in the runs.
Johnson hits it a ton to right field. Hooking. Foul ball.
That wasn't foul by much.
Bryn Smith with a little smile on his face as he gets away with one.
He got that one in Hojo's happy area right there. He got away with it.
As you know, Keith, sometimes when you hit a ball real hard, it hooks a lot. And this ball just hooked it up to be foul.
Bryn Smith's breathing a sigh of relief there. There's no question.
So the count 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Let's see what he comes back with. That was a fastball. He's coming back in again. That's good. He got it.
Johnson's 19th home run and the 9th home run he's hit in the last 19 games.
He may catch Kevin Mitchell.
Check this out. He hit 2 home runs Monday night, his 3rd home run of the series today, and the Mets lead 2-0.
That was inside corner. So much for my call. But I'll tell you what, though. That when a guy takes you deep with an inside corner fastball, the least thing you expect is for him to come back with that pitch. And he got burned by it, but I can't second guess that pitch at all.
For 4, I may not play the next day. It was knocked all the confidence out of me.
Magadan with a diving stop. Myers covering and out number 3. And I'd have to say that that's the sure stop of the day right there.
That's a fine play.
It ends the inning as Myers retires with help. The Expos in order in the 8th. It's still 2-0 New York after 7.5. Back after this for Manufacturers Hanover.
He's got to play there in a little bit like where he is, even with the bag.
Sharply hit right at Johnson, who will go to second in time, and the ball game is over. A rocket to third ends it. as the Mets win it 2-0. Randy Myers saving it for David Cone. A much-needed victory for David Cone, who had not won a game since May 6th. And Coney's record now 4-5 as Myers picks up his 9th save. Brent Smith pitched well, but suffers only his 3rd loss of the year. He is 7-3. And the Mets take 2 out of 3 from Montreal. And here are the reactions of the two managers on the final out.
That's a much-needed victory. A lot of good things today. It was good to see Coney have a good ball game. He has been struggling so hard. I know he's got to feel great about today's performance, something to build on.
That's for sure. And Randy Myers gets to redeem after last night. So 2-0 New York. Keith and I are going to be back with a final word from Shea, and Ralph is standing by with Kiner's Corner. We're back after this for Nissan. Of their own, and of course one of those, Howard Johnson's home run. Max, you didn't have to dress up to be on TV, you know.
I didn't know I was going on today. Otherwise I wore my suit.
Listen, I'm envious. I'm tired of wearing a tie. I think, Keith, that the one concern that still remains, and obviously, as you said, a lot of good things happen. David Cone pitching well, and Randy Myers coming back, Ojo red hot, and the Mets playing well overall, better than they have been, but they still don't seem to be hitting, and then when they get a lot of hits, they leave a lot of guys on base. It was double figures again last night with double figures in hits and in left on base. How much of a concern is that?
Well, certainly it's a concern when you're not driving in the runs, but you got to give Brent Smith a lot of credit. It was a tough pitcher today, and like you said, David had to pitch that A ball game today, so that's important. And you know, we've got a lot of guys hurt in the lineup right now with Darryl out, myself, Carter. Mac has still got trouble with his ribs. We got to hold water and just tread water until the All-Star break and get everybody back and have a big second half push.
30 walks, striking out 42 and allowing 77 base hits this year. He is 2-2 lifetime against the Phillies.
And speaking of the Phillies, I wonder if the prodigal son ever let off, Ralph. Len Dykstra returning to Shea, and boy, it's strange to mention his name in another uniform. Dick Hield hitting 5th, Ricky Jordan, the first baseman, hitting 6th, Steve Jeltz batting 7th, Steve Lake and Ken Howell, and listen to the applause for Len Dykstra.
And a standing ovation for Lenny Dykstra in his first appearance in a Philadelphia Philly uniform. He has been hot as a Philadelphia Philly player. Batting .463, he's had 6 hits and 13 advance. One of them a home run. He has hit 8 leadoff home runs in his major league career, and he hits this into right center field. It'll drop in for extra bases. Dykstra on his way to second. He'll make third. And Lenny Dykstra with a stand-up 3-base hit in his return to Shea Stadium.
And that's even more interesting than the applause that Dykstra got when he came up to bat. Mets fans applauding Dykstra for hitting a triple. And the big question when Lenny was...
So a runner at third, and the typical Lenny Dykstra with that chew of tobacco, and the Mets now facing Dickie Thon. He hits a fly ball to right center field, and a long run there, and it is out of the ballpark. It is gone goodbye, and the Phillies lead it 2-0. Was taking batting practice in the batting cage. This is the first time he's hit in the batting cage since he injured that knee.
And he can't use that Cybex machine to increase the strength in his quad. Keith told me that he was, however, riding the bicycle and expects to be back about a week after the All-Star break. That's his scheduled day of return. That'd be good news.
Well, right here, the force play at second to end the inning. A hard slide by Dykstra, even though there is no double play attempt there, and he just tears into the bag. Jeffries looks back and seems to say, hey, what's going on here? As we go to Tim McCarver. All right. Of Tim McCarver at the bat I've ever seen. Better than Tim when he was actually playing.
Left field, McReynolds over, and he makes the play. That was a terrific running catch, but as we said before the catch, he should have been standing in his tracks. It's 2-1 Philadelphia. Mid-third, we're back after this from Pepsi. Good play, McReynolds. Mazzilli leads it off for the Mets here in the third inning. And here's that play once again.
And Kruk, of course, as we mentioned, an opposite field hitter, dead opposite field hitter, and a long run for McReynolds, who is playing him actually away from the line.
19 home runs. A looper up the middle, base hit. Mazzilli scores, and this ball game is tied. Howard Johnson is on fire.
Well, the base hit, it's a fastball and it's not there.
Lined up the middle, base hit. Here comes Magadan. The throw by Dykstra. Not in time. Safe at home. Great base running by Johnson and McReynolds as they move up. 3-2 New York.
Second baseman,
Len Dykstra missed the cutoff man. Mistake on his part.
Yeah, Lenny throws the ball high and offline. The ball hit right up the middle. Dykstra with a good throw has Magadan at the plate, but the throw is offline and too high to be cut off. That allows the runners to go over, and of course Lake can't get back to the plate to make the tag. Magadan coming around and sliding away from the catcher and getting in safely.
Glove of Lake, and there's that wild pitch we were talking about, number 13 on the year, and it looked like Howell stepped on Johnson's foot as Johnson crossed home plate. By Wilbur Wood in the mid-60s. Line to right center, it should score a run. Kruk, the throw, and Jordan tried to cut it off, and Wilson went to third. It's 5-2 New York, and some poor throwing by the Philly outfield.
Fastballs to Dykstra were probably well over 90 miles an hour.
Now at 1-2. Curveball hit on the ground to Tuffo. Has it. The throw to first base for the out. And Randy Myers pitches out of the jam. Good play by Tuffo as Lenny Dykstra hangs tough. Hits the ball wall but is thrown out. 1 run scoring. It's unearned. And the score at the end of 7.5 innings, it's the Mets 6 and the Philadelphia Phillies 3. Now here's a word from Delta Airlines.
I'm happy in the situation I'm in now because I'm going to get the opportunity to pitch, and that's all I've ever wanted. It seemed to.
Chopper over the mound, base hit center field. Tuffle will score, and a play on Mazzilli, and I'll tell you, Jeltz didn't see him. Steve Jeltz had Lee Mazzilli, and he didn't see him. Tuffle scores to make it 8-3 New York. Looping into center field for a base hit. Here comes a throw by Dykstra. Not in time as Mazzilli scores, and the Mets now lead it 9-3. Out the final 2 batters to pick up his 10th save of the year. The Mets with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning blow the game open and win it 9-3, the first of a 3-game series here at Shea against Philadelphia, and we'll have game 2 and game 3 tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Sunday at 1:30 right here on O.
And it certainly does. And this ball hit hard right at Jeffries, who takes it in the air. The throw to second in time as Elster takes the throw. A line drive double play, and the Mets are out of it. 3 hits, no runs, 2 men left, and the score at the end of 1.5 innings. The Phillies nothing, the Mets nothing. Now here's a word from Tropicana with a 22-12 record.
This one hit to right field. Back is John Kruk. Back to the wall. Out of here. Home run, Dave Magadan. An example of what you were talking about in the first inning, Ralph, about how he's pulling the ball so much better this year.
Well, they really got the bat around on this high fastball, and he drills it deep to right field. His 4th home run of the year, his 3rd against the Phillies, and his 8th home run in his major league career. That pitch a tough pitch to pull unless you got great bat speed, and he got that bat through there in a hurry and drilled it down to the ballpark.
Yeah, that pitch up and in.
Ball 1. To left. Ford going back. Out of here. Home run, Ron Darling.
Guy in the dugout is not Darling. It's Doc is all smiles. The first major league home run for Ron Darling. Gooden's probably thinking you're still one behind me.
Pitchers always love to talk about their hitting, but when something like that happens, they just don't shut up. Here's Darling's home run again.
A fastball looked like right down the pipe. Yep. Boy, I mean, Ronnie hit it hard and out of here. That's the first home run by a Mets pitcher this year.
2 perfect innings. He came in relief of Floyd Youmans. This ball hit deep to right field. If it's fair, it's out of here, but it is a foul ball. I'll tell you, he could hit it.
It was out of here, but it was foul. I mean, it was way out of here. And look at the guys. Look at Jeffries, Teufel, Miller. See, these guys were teammates. And look at Stottlemyre. They're giving Nell some grief. Jeffries, of course, Dave West teammates in Tidewater.
And the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. And this pitch is popped up. Howard Johnson over by the Philly dugout. A lot of wind here in the ballpark, and Johnson makes the catch. Great play by Howard Johnson to get the out and end the inning. So no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left at second, and the score at the end, a 7.5 innings, the Mets 4 and the Philadelphia Phillies 2. And here's a word from the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Grounded up the middle. Jeffrey smothers it. Great play.
Well, Greg Jeffries really does pull off an outstanding play here as it saves a base hit, and runners at first and second at the worst. Ball hit hard by Denier up the middle. It looked like a sure base hit, but this great diving stop, and now he has the throw in time to Elster covering the second for the force play.
Grounded into a double play and grounded to short. And he hits one high in the air. Short left field near the line. Elster makes the play. Myers, with some help from his friends, picks up his 11th save of the year, his second in the last 2 nights. The Mets have won their 3rd in a row and have now won 9 of their last 12 games, taking the first 2 of this 3-game series against Philadelphia. As Ron Darling evens his record at 5-5, and Floyd Yeoman's record falls to 1-5. Ralph and I'll be right back to wrap it up. It's fireworks night, and the fireworks.
2-2 to Dykstra. 1 out, nobody on. 1-1 game here in the 3rd. Got it. Strikeout number 4 for Fernandez. 2 outs here in the 3rd.
Second baseman, Tommy Hearn.
Well, Lenny Dykstra this year against left-hand pitching hitting .280, and he gets his wish. He wants to play every day against right and left-hand pitching.
Slider, base hit down the left field line. 1 run scores. Here comes Johnson. It's going to be a play on him, but it's high. 3-1 Mets. McReynolds to 3rd. It'll probably be a double, and McReynolds going to 3rd on the throw. 3-1 New York.
Second baseman, Greg Jefferies.
Well, the 2 walks in front of the base hit, and 2-run scoring.
McReynolds scores. Jefferies will try for second and make it. 4-1 New York.
Center fielder, Mookie Wilson.
Well, Jefferies, following the double by McReynolds, picks up his 17th 2-base hit, his 22nd RBI, as he doubles into right center field.
Good base running too, Ralph.
His best major league year was with Texas in 1986. He was 10-8 with 20 saves. And there's a drive into right center field. It'll go through. It could be a 3-base hit. And Jefferies on his way for 3.
Jefferies now with a chance to hit for the cycle today. He has a single, a double, and now a triple, but he really shouldn't have a triple. Watch Von Hayes not play this ball. The ball played Vaughn, and he really misplayed it. The ball really should have been cut off, and Jefferies should have been held to a double. But Hayes misplayed it. He's not going to be charged with an error, of course. It's a triple.
Popped up. Lands back near the screen, and he makes the play. Jelts to 3rd, safe. But a brilliant play by Barry Lands. 2 outs, ball. There may be an appeal at second base, thinking that Jelts left too early. We'll see.
Bob Dernier did not tag up and go to second on the play. Didn't have a lot of time. This ball did not have a lot of hang time. You see Barry sliding, trying to avoid a header into that gate back there behind home plate, and then he has the presence of mind to roll over. Boy, I'll tell you what, he needed 2 hands on that one because he didn't exactly have it in the pocket, and he fires to 3rd and makes a good throw from his knees, just not in time.
Alert base running by Jelts, but just a fine play.
But as you can see, only 2 hits in 10 at-bats this series. Ripped to first. A good play by Magadan will end the ball game. The Mets sweep the Phillies by taking Game 3 5-1 here at Shea this afternoon. Rick Aguilera pitches well the last 2 innings, does not get credit for a save. And the Mets finish this homestand with a 5-1 record. They are now technically just 1/2 game behind Chicago as the Cubs trail Montreal 2-0 in that game. The losing pitcher, Terry Mulholland, started. He went 4 innings. His record is now 0-2. Sid Fernandez went 7 to get the win. Sid's record now 5-2. Tim and I'll be back to wrap it up. Ralph is standing by with Kiner's Corner for you, so stay with us.
Elsewhere in the National League at Shea, the Mets look to make it 9 of their last 11 as they face the Phillies. Cap day at Shea Stadium. Everybody enjoying it. Bottom of the third, 2 Mets on. Kevin McReynolds breaks a 1-1 tie with that double to left off Terry Mulholland. Magadan and Hojo score. McReynolds' 32nd and 33rd ribbies of the year. Next batter, Greg Jeffries doubles into right center. McReynolds scores. It's 4-1. Jeffries was 3 for 4. Sid Fernandez pitched 7 strong innings. Gets some defensive help. Watch Barry Lyons, a sliding catch on his ex-teammate Lenny Dykstra. And Fernandez got his first win since May 9th. Broke a streak of 4 straight no decisions. Mets win at 5-1, and they extend their win streak to 4. They tied a major league mark with no assists in the game. The Indians last pulled that one off in 1945. At Three Rivers, the Pirates got a good...
Mackey Sasser, and that'll do it for the Expos here in the bottom of the 8th. But stay with us. Last chance for the Mets. They trail 2-1. The 0-1 pitch. There's a long drive to right field. Hubie Brooks is back. He's back. It's a tie ball game. Howard Johnson. He's having an MVP year.
And after taking a good fastball, I think he got a hook. I think he hit a breaking ball. We'll take a look at it. Remember yesterday, manager Rogers said, whatever we had in the books on him, throw the book away. He's a different hitter now. In this series in New York, he hit a home run off a curveball and a slider.
Well, so much for right-handed starters right now. It's a tie ball game. Good ball game here at the Big O. Happy Met dugout.
Boy, he's hit a ton of clutch home runs for the New York Mets over the last 4 seasons. Goodness gracious.
What's running through Joe McIlvain's mind right now when he watches?
Take a look at it. See, it's a breaking ball. It went right down there. He knows he hit a home run. There it is, breaking ball. And Hubie, you don't have enough room.
That ball's driven way.
The pad on his right thigh as he hits against Randy Myers. And the ball hit up the middle. A great play by Elster. He smothers it. Keeps the ball in the infield. And the runners move up as Raines gets a base hit. But Elster Miller making a great play. Pardon me. Miller making a great play to smother that ball.
Outstanding field. And Miller does just that. Outstanding play, and he hustles over, gets the ball, and the runner does not score. Big play by Keith Miller. Would you ever think, Ralph, not?
Yeah, 2 balls, no strikes. And the fastball is popped up in foul territory. Sasser back, and he makes the catch.
That was a great play.
Outstanding play by Mackey Sasser as he grabbed that one right on the edge of the box seat area.
First row, Mackey Sasser on the plane area, or did he reach in? He reached in. That was a tremendous play by Mackey Sasser. He not only robbed Rex Hudler, but he robbed the fan. 2 down. Outstanding play by Mackey Sasser, who's under the gun.
For 4 in this game. Made a brilliant play on a double play ball. And this ball hit in the air to left center field. A long run for the center fielder. And Samuel runs it down and saves the game. Juan Samuel with his great speed running that ball down and keeping this game going. What a play. So in the inning, no runs, 2 hits, 3 men. Now here in the 12th inning, the winning run at second again. Ground ball in the hole and a base hit. Mookie Wilson with the throw to the plate. It is in time, and the runner is out. Santovania thrown out by Mookie Wilson to save the ball game.
We got some excitement here. Here's a base hit. Otis Nixon slapping the ball in the hole. Mookie Wilson charging the ball. Look at where he got that ball. The throw to Mackey Sasser, and Mackey applying the tag. Good play, Mookie Wilson and Mackey Sasser. And it's late, but how about that reaction?
Well, the ball game saved at least temporarily. The next batter is Tim Wallach on the play. Nixon went down to second, so the winning run is still at second, and the Mets are going to walk Wallach intentionally. And the pitch. It's hit hard to right field. Mookie back is there, and he makes the catch, and we go to the 13th. In the last 3 innings, the Expos have left 8 men on base. And the score at the end of 12, the Mets 2 and the Montreal Expos.
In Montreal on this night. Beautiful night for some baseball. Leave the top off. Top or bottom of the 6th, I should say. 1-0 Mets when Mike Fitzgerald lands a shot into the gap in right center. David Cohn is on the hill. Andres Galarraga, and then Tim Wallach will score. Wallach just beating the wrap. And it's 2-1 Montreal. Top of the 7th we go. Expos are leading. First and third situation, but look at the beautiful glove flip for the double play. 6-4-3, and that ends the threat there. Top of the 9th, 2-1 Expos. When Howard Johnson leads off with a solo blast off at Tim Burke, that ties it at 2-2. So we go to extra frames. We'll go to the 11th. It's at 2-2. When right up the middle he goes, Tim Raines slams that shot. Kevin Elster knocks it down, and that kind of preserved things for the time being because the Mets were able to get out of it. Bottom of the 12th, Otis Nixon singles to right. Mookie Wilson with the nice throw to nail the runner coming home, Nelson Santavena. And so we keep on it going. Those scorecards by this time are all messed up. Bottom of the 14th, first and third, nobody out. Tim Wallach singles in. The winning run comes home, and the Expos get the victory, and that is victory number 500 in the coaching career for manager Buck Rogers. Meanwhile, it was the Pirates paying a visit to...
First stop is the Big O, Olympic Stadium. That's the home of the National League East leading Montreal Expos. Now, a month ago, you might recall, they made a deal with Seattle to get left-handed pitcher Mark Langston. At the time, the Expos said he would be the one that would get them the NL East pennant. Well, they have gotten to the top of the division, and tonight Langston finally got his first win in front of the home crowd. And it was probably oh so sweet because it was against the Mets. They had to like this. Nelson Santavena lines it to left. Kevin McReynolds looks like he has the catch, but look at that. Drops the ball. They called it a bobble, said no catch. That allowed Tim Wallach to score. Santavena gets the double. Montreal leads 3-2. Langston, he certainly did his job tonight. Didn't go the distance, but he had it working marvelously on the hill. Came up with 10 strikeouts on tonight, including this one right here against Hojo. Gets him with the hook. But with the score 4-3, top of the 9th, Expos leading. It's Tim Burke on in relief, facing Mookie Wilson. Hey, no problem there. Burke gets the save, and Langston gets his first win at Olympic Stadium as the Expos have now won 6 in a row, 4-3 the final tonight over the Mets. Now let's go to
1-0 to Jethro, as his teammates affectionately call him. It's sharply, great play, Elster. Got him at first.
Well, there's an Ozzie Smith play right there. Elster, one of the best fielding defensive shortstops you'll ever want to see. He does an Ozzie Smith on this one. Dives to the ball and comes up throwing. He gets up quickly. So O'Neill robbed of a base hit on the fine play by Elster. 2 men away. Elster earlier this year.
Midwest success.
Ever since they moved in here, they've gone over 1 million.
Runners not running. Grounded sharply by the diving Benzinger. Darling had a tough time picking it up. Samuel is stopped at third, and that may be because Darling almost missed the third base bag and had to slow down. 1-0 New York. Wow.
Who might have scored had to pull up.
Maybe. Strawberry hits one deep to left center. Back is his friend Eric Davis, and he can't get to it. It's off the facade in left center field for the 16th home run by Darryl Strawberry, and the Mets lead it 4-0. For a minute, I thought the ball was off the top of the fence, but because Davis didn't retrieve it, you knew it was off the facade. 16 home runs now for Strawberry. There's that fastball you were talking about too, Ralph. You keep toying with the big guys, they're going to get you eventually.
They'll get you sooner or later. Strawberry gets his 18th home run against the Cincinnati Reds, and that is his 16th home run this year.
One to McReynolds. This one hit deep to left field. Back is Daniels. This ball is out of here. 2 consecutive games in which Ron Darling has homered. Brother. 7-1 New York. Oh, baby. You believe this?
Ron Darling with 2 hits tonight, 2 homers in his last 2 starts. He did not even have an RBI this season until he homered in his last start. A solo home run. Ronnie now with a 3-run home run. So in the last 2 games in which he's appeared, he's had 3 hits, 2 home runs, and driven in 4 runs. They might have to think about making him an everyday player.
Well, takes ball 1. Sammy's had a good game. He's 2 for 3. Look at this.
I mean, he really hit this ball, too. Fastball down about thigh high. Darling's hand even came off the bat.
This one hit deep to left field, but Daniels is...
For Cincinnati in the 5th inning, their only run of the game. The Mets leading 7-1. This ball hit hard into the right field area. It's over and a great play by Carrion as he makes a great running catch. And he robs Quinones of at least a 2-base hit. That saves the run at this point in the ball game as Carrion really tracked that one down. Looked like it was over his head, and was, as a matter of fact.
Well, this is why you just don't give up on a ball as an outfielder. You saw that Mark had to make a little adjustment after he hits a warning track. And he reaches up, and the ball goes in and stays in, which is the most important part.
It rattled around. Time record for games, period. Not much.
Hojo hits one high and deep to right field. O'Neill back, and it's gone. Howard Johnson with a 3-run home run as the Mets are burying the Reds at Riverfront. 11-1.
Gets his 21st home run as he gets a 3-run home run here off to Culvey. And Howard now just 4 home runs back of Kevin Mitchell, who leads Major League Baseball with 25 home runs.
Fly ball to center. Lee Mazzilli squeezes it, and the inning and the game are both over as the Mets cruise with 3 3-run home runs in the game. Prior to tonight, the Mets had hit 3 3-run home runs all season long to this point. Ron Darling, the winner, and the starter, Rick Mailer, the loser for Cincinnati. Ralph and I'll be back with a wrap-up. The first of 3 in the can from Cincinnati this weekend. More after this for Michelob Light.
Playing in the rain in Cincinnati and had one of their best games of the year. Sid Fernandez was there when Ron Darling hit 2 homers in 2 straight games, so he helped his cause with a 2nd-inning single off Scott Scudder. 1 RBI for Sid, a 2-0 lead. In the 3rd, Greg Jeffries hard single to right brought in Howard Johnson. The Nets were building a 5-0 lead. Tim Burtis, who came in to relieve Scudder, though, got a thrill in the bottom of the 3rd. In only his 2nd Major League at-bat, Burtis hit his first homer. He had a smile on his face a mile wide, while Sid could only wonder why him. For a while, when the rains came in the bottom of the fourth, it looked as if that 5-1 lead was in danger of being washed away. But after an hour and 14-minute delay, things got underway just in time for Hojo's 22nd homer. He had 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Eric Davis hit a solo homer off Don Ossie, who came into the ninth, but the Mets still won it 7-2. Sid got the win, and elsewhere, Bryn Smith.
McReynolds, his ball's going to fall in. Let's see if he gets a shot at Magadan. He's turning hard. Nope. He's going to throw to second base. The Mets have tied it up 1 apiece.
And the bat in 2 pieces out in front of the pitcher's mound as the bat was shattered, but Kevin McReynolds drives in the run that ties it. He had doubled off the center field fence his last time up with Magadan on first. Magadan had to hold at third.
And I tell you, Harry's got that foot on the turf. Hard ground ball to second. This is going to be 2. To Howard Johnson, to Magadan. Tailor-made DP on Caminetti. David Cone gets out of it. After 6 innings, it's still tied 1 apiece.
You can't find successful minor league managers today the way they could a few years ago. Here's a 3-2 pitch. And here's a drive left field. That ball's way back. And home run, Tim Teufel. Oh, he smoked that ball. 2-1 Mets.
Well, that's one high fastball that didn't get by.
Oh, you talked about that high fastball. If you make a mistake up there, you could have a problem.
We're in the 7th inning. He could be tiring a little bit. We talk about Sid Fernandez being like that. That ball was cut a little bit. Teufel turned on it extremely well. That ball's way out of here. Look like them home runs Jimmy Wynn used to hit here.
That's a good point. Well, it's 2-1, and now the batter, Mark Carrion. So the Mets out in front.
Bullpen active for the Astros.
There's in the game. All of a sudden, he makes a mistake, and bang, it's too late.
Shay's a lot like Sid Fernandez. There's a...
Oh, there's another one. Way back. Home run. New York Mets back-to-back home runs. 3-1 New York. Mark Carrion, 3rd home run of the year. And he's replacing Darryl Strawberry tonight.
As we were saying, there comes a time where those guys that don't have the tremendous velocity but have that good movement, you get in the 7th inning, the 8th inning, if they don't keep having it, what you just saw happens. That's why Sid Fernandez doesn't close out a lot of games himself. Watch this fastball. That's again that little cutter, little cut fastball. Boy, back-to-back cut fastballs. They cut all right. They cut about 850 feet combined.
Well, Jim Deshaies better watch this next guy. We're looking at Mark Carrion. Prize in baseball has to be the Orioles up to this point. 2-2 pitches popped up. Will it stay in play? Johnson in pursuit. And Elster makes the play. So Kevin Elster going over and making a fine play. You know, I believe in that double switch.
Boy, he just covers a lot of ground here. They're both going for it, but Elster a little bit higher than Howard Johnson right there. They're very close. They both probably could have caught this ball.
That's one heck of a play. Jeez.
Wow, nice play, Kevin Elster.
I'm going to have to talk to first game of a 3-game series. 2-2 pitch to Billy Hatcher. Popped up. This should do it. Kevin Elster calling for it and makes the grab for out number 3. So Randy Myers picks up a save. Winning pitcher David Cone picking up his 5th of the year. He's now at the 500 mark at 5-5. Jim Deshaies, the losing pitcher, he's now 8-4. And for the Mets, their 42nd victory of the year. A big win for New York because the Expos beat the Atlanta Braves 3-0 tonight. So the Mets stay 2 games behind the Expos, and Rusty and I will be back.
Wrote that one.
Line drive, fair ball. Howard Johnson on his way to second base, and Juan Samuel scoring the first run of the game. Mets 1, Cincinnati 0.
trouble of this ball game. And the only question was whether it would stay fair. It was fair by about a yard.
With that right now. Shot down the right field line. It's extra bases. Here comes Miller. They're going to send Hojo. Nope, they held him up. They held him up. Strawberry with a stand-up double and an RBI. That was a lot better swing.
Boy, he hit some hard baseballs. Here's Darryl Strawberry in the side angle, the kick, and he gets the head of the bat on that pitch right down the right field line. Had to be a long double because Darryl was limping into second base.
Sometimes it's tougher to stop when you have an. Got to get a fastball. He hits it good to right field. Back goes Rondo Rooms. He's going to get a sacrifice fly on this. Strawberry goes to third. Kind of limps in. So a line drive sac fly. The young line drive. That's going to score one. Here's a throw. They're going to try to get Howard Johnson. Here's a relay. He doesn't hold on. He scores. Both runners advance. Mookie to third. McReynolds to second. The Mets score two and now lead 7-1.
Well, payback is tough. Last night, the Mets got battered around here at Shea Stadium. Now they have a 7-1 lead, and Kevin McReynolds coming through once again. Here it is. Burgess with the bases loaded, challenging McReynolds. McReynolds slapping the ball into left field. Drawing the throw from Youngblood is Hojo. And Jeff Reed having trouble holding on.
Youngblood was so true. He is really a fine man to have around your ball club. Always ready to play. And this one is popped up in the left field, and that should do it. Sid Fernandez will get a complete game. His 10th in his major league career, and obviously his first this year, as he comes up the winner by a score of 7-1. Sid now with a record of 7-2 as he goes all the way. The losing pitch in the ball game was Scott Scutters, and his record stands at 2-3, 2 of his 3 losses to the New York Mets, and the Mets turning a 3-game losing streak and bringing it to a complete halt. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment, right after these messages.
Respect.
Yes, it is.
That's wide. Long drive. Out of here. Strawberry. Home run. They weren't deep enough.
The only ball that can get over their head is out of the ballpark anyway. Strawberry, bad toe and all. That ball a long, long way. Browning a lot of pitches up in the strike zone today. We've told you the reason why that record 7-6 is because he's either really sharp or not. So far today, it's the not.
And Rusty, I know for years this ballpark was not considered a hitter's park. How about today?
I think the grass. Here's Darryl Strawberry's swing on that home run. He knew it when he hit it. O'Neill did not, but he realized it eventually. The grass is cut much, but he just drifted instead of coming in hard to back up his shortstop. Line drive, base hit. Might be a play at the plate. O'Neill picks it up, and he holds it. Tuffle's going to score. Strawberry with another RBI.
For the Mets to get back into this thing, the big guy has to get hot. He picks up a base hit and an RBI. Talking about number 18, and he's
strikeout here. They can keep the pace up for the whole season. Base hit up the middle. Lombardi's coming around third. Davis slowing, is not going to make an attempt at Lombardi. Just tosses into second. RBI single for Juan Samuel.
And the Mets lead 6-0. And the 3-2 pitch, runner going again. Line drive, center field. Samuel making the play very well. And that'll do it for the Reds. They're at the top of the 8th. They fail to score. They leave a runner stranded. We played 7.5 here at Sonny Shea Stadium, and it's 6-0 Mets. Batters by the Reds on Thursday night. Sid Fernandez pitched a 3-hitter last night. David Cone with a 4-hitter this afternoon so far. And there's a jam shot. Oh, base hit! And David Cone comes around to score the Mets' 7th run. Juan Samuel got severely jammed, but he got the right hop.
This ball, I think, hits the edge of the grass and hangs low and moves to the left.
Sounds like a golf.
Watch where it hits. Boom, it hit right on the point where the grass turns into the mud, and it fooled Larkin tremendously.
Listening to you describe that hit, sounded like you were talking about Arnold Palmer.
Well, you saw how much he was fooled right there. What a break for Juan Samuel.
Oh, boy! Well, Tuffel's got 4 hits and Dibble drills him.
There's no doubt that that's an intentional ball inside. You can't convince me of anything other than that.
No, he threw it on purpose. And there goes Tuffel. And they're throwing punches. The benches are emptying.
Tuffel has a right to be mad.
Look at Sam Wells got Charlton.
They're just holding him. They're just holding him.
And they're trying to hold Dibble back. Somebody's got Dibble.
Oh, Samuel hit Charlton.
Bill Robinson had Dibble. And now they got Charlton. Dibble's being held back.
This could get out of hand. I'm telling you, this one could get out of hand.
It's out of hand. They're trying to hold Tuffel down on the third base. And look at Dibble. They're holding Dibble, and they're still holding Tuffel.
Well, there's no doubt that that was an intentional thing. I'd be a little surprised that the umpires don't call something here.
They're going to throw Dibble out of the game.
Well, there's a few people got to be thrown out of this game right now.
Oh, Dibble threw the ball at Tuffel. They're going to throw him out of the game. You can't throw a ball at a hitter like that. You throw the ball 100 miles an hour, you kill him.
Charlton and Juan Samuel, they're in a big thing. Juan Samuel got a jolt in on Charlton.
Well, Samuel was in the middle of that, wasn't he? Look, he wants more of them. Samuel wants Perez. Bill Robinson, boy, he was in there in a second.
Umpires are trying to get some order here.
Well, he started it right there by drilling Tim Tuffel, who has 4 hits in this game. I'll tell you, Juan Samuels made the transition from a Philly to a Met in dramatic fashion this afternoon.
We'll see what happens here. I imagine we're going to have to get another pitcher in.
Look at Dibble. Dibble's coming back out in the field.
He's just coming out to get his glove and his hat, I guess. Lee May has both, but he's gonna leave this field. They're not gonna let him pitch anymore.
Oh, Dibble, born and brought up. Here they go again. Tuffel wants more of Dibble. And here goes Dibble.
Gee whiz, this is gonna go because Samuel and Charlton. You knew that was coming too.
Boy, Samuel, boy, he's in the middle of this.
Charlton ran around everybody trying to get at him. They were swinging at each other the first time.
I tell you, Bill Robinson gets in the middle of these things in a hurry. Tim Tuffel still shouting at Dibble. And Dibble at Tuffel. Ironically, both born and brought up in the state of Connecticut.
All I can tell you is the Houston Astros had a big fight down in Houston with the Montreal Expos. Kind of drew the whole ball club together. They went on and won 10 in a row and 16 out of 17.
Tim Tupple for being
Tupple's got a right to be aggravated at having 4 hits, walk up there first pitch is not, it's behind him.
That wasn't even a knockdown pitch.
It was an intentional drill job all the way.
I'm sure the teams will be warned.
The teams have been warned, the managers have been warned, they've even warned the fans, I think, now.
That still won't stop retaliation, though. Can't get Dibble to stay in the dugout.
Well, all I can tell you, he's saying if I have to go, he has to go. Now Davy Johnson's complaining because they may run Tupple too. We'll see.
They usually run the guy that charges the mound also. They're throwing Juan Samuel out of the game. Tupple staying in the game. Under fire, Juan Samuel has become a teammate of the Mets. Boy, did he stand up for Tim Tupple.
Well, exciting times here in the bottom of the 8th. Check this pitch out. Look at the location of this pitch. You tell me that wasn't an intentional knockdown or an intentional drill job.
Boy, oh boy.
Dibble walks in. Like as if he's going to be intimidating to start off with.
Oh boy, Tupple got some shots in there. Dibble's lip is bleeding, by the way. But Tupple hammered him.
You can see it. Juan Samuel and Charlton are in the front, and they're going to have a little bit.
Dibble threw it. Now they're going to throw Timmy Tupple out of the ball game.
Robinson, who was just trying to control Dibble, not hurt him.
He was already hurt by Tupple.
Yes.
Look at Davy Johnson's going to get thrown out of this game also.
Well, with all that, Tim Burgess is now going to be on the mound for the Cincinnati Redlegs.
Aggravation in my life.
Pete says, I think you got trouble. They got to throw Charlton out of the game too. You just have to even that out. Charlton's out of the game anyway. I mean, it's not like they're hurting him. They're just making him leave the bench. Davy Johnson going to have to make a couple of changes here now.
We talked about the on first, Carrion on second base, and the batter Howard Johnson. And he hits a rope, and this will be a base hit. 1 run will score. Mazzilli on his way to third, and Howard Johnson at RBI. What an afternoon for Hojo.
Johnson reaches out and gets this ball. Almost caught by the third baseman. Runs out to go get it. Is Carrion scoring. I don't know if they'll give Howard Johnson a single or a double on that ball. Mets in 4th place trying to work their way up.
Fans on their feet here at Shea. They want the strikeout. 1-2 pitch. And they get it. Strike 3, ball game over. David Cone, a complete game for the Mets. He allowed 6 hits, 3 runs. The Mets beating the Cincinnati Reds 8-3. And in the 8th inning, quite an altercation between the Reds and the New York Mets. So David Cone, the winning pitcher, and for the New York Mets, their 44th victory of the season against 39 losses. Davy Johnson has to be happy. They go at it again tomorrow afternoon with the Cincinnati Reds. You never know what will happen. Stay with us. Rusty and I will be back.
This past winter, a trade that saw Nick Osaski and Rob Murphy go to Boston. 1-1 to Bensinger. looked like a fastball sign. Nope, breaking ball. Left side off the glove of Larkin. Here comes Elster. He scores. 3-1 New York. Another fine play by Sam Palazzo, the third base coach. Among the best.
I'll tell you what, he has really become one of the premier third base coaches in baseball. You have to make such quick decisions. Now look where Elster is. He's right there at the bag about the same time as the ball goes off Barry Larkin's glove. Ball's up in the air. Right now, he's telling Kevin Elster can't see what happened. He's telling Kevin Elster and showing Kevin Elster immediately he wants him to go home.
Hello, Edison. Misha's nice you have right field here, Soviet Union on the left field.
And what are the you must feel at home the team is the Reds here.
You have every team in Soviet Union is Reds. Leningrad Reds, Moscow Reds, Kiev Reds, all same team. It's nice, man, just came home. You know, in Soviet Union, you can't steal home, you occupy home.
You occupy home.
Very much agree.
You don't own it, right?
No, never. Everyone owns home.
That's right. And you occupy
and
a different
the umpires,
home.
You never say, you know, safe out. Everybody.
What do you say?
No one is safe.
No
right?
one's safe.
No, as long as they have weapons. You know,
that's true.
Safe.
You need a visa to be out, right?
Very much, yes. You must negotiate for that out. You know, to get out, you can't. You're not out. You must get out.
Get out.
Yeah, you say.
But you can't come home if you get out.
Yeah, you get out. You can't come home.
Ah.
It's like who's on first, but not yet.
But not yet.
No, not
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, funny. I laugh now.
You're allowed to laugh now.
Here.
Here.
Okay.
Eric, the home plate umpire today.
He's a big fella.
Oh, look out there. Ooh. No steroids, I don't think.
You never know.
Not that way.
Look
okay.
like Russian woman shot putter.
Watch out.
Oh, well hit deep to right, and Darrell back on the track.
And it's going to be
Strawberry makes a great catch. Harris
got a plate
running, and he overran third base, and he's out.
Goodbye.
You tighten the helmet, that'll help.
No, you can't keep that.
No.
Double play, inning over. Mets still lead 3-2. Back after this for the good old Sky.
Okay, America. Look at that big time.
Strawberry going over the fence to catch what would have been obviously a home run. Watch. And you will never see another double play like this one. Harris waiting until the ball is caught, and now he rounds third. The throw back to Johnson. And he's caught dead.
Wait, hold it. Wait a minute. Oh, Jeffries leads off the bottom of the.
The Lola Falana hole, I tell you, it's unbelievable. Dog leg to the left.
Oh! Yes!
Jesus!
Oh! America!
Oh!
We're the country, America!
Oh!
Okay! Hey! I turn my head to the side, I cough. Hey!
Oh!
We got a lawyer in
right
now.
Here comes another one. Are you all right, Billy?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. Whoa! There it is.
You get a good appreciation of how fast that ball comes back. Huh?
You still don't move to your right well.
I duck now.
You duck! Boy, we got
Vale City.
This is only his second game that he's ever been to in his life.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a great game, isn't it?
Here it is. Here it is. Holy cow!
Look at it come our way.
Comes.
Oh!
Boy, if you hadn't jumped out of the way, Billy.
I'm glad I had protection.
They were last Super Bowl.
Grounded, fair ball. Johnson with a long throw in time. First. Another sparkling play by Howard Johnson to end the inning. An error and one left in the fifth. 4.5 gone. And
that lovely Don Johnson beard, too. That lovely Don Johnson beard.
After this, we're back. After this from Amtrak. Batting breaks. Another base hit, a line drive. No! Caught by Samuel. Juan Samuel with the diving catch of the line drive to end the inning. And the game remains tied as the Reds strand a runner at third. It's 3-3 in the middle of the seventh. Back after this for Metropolitan Life. And the first pitch to Greg Jeffries popped up into short center field. Larkin and trouble.
You could see "uh-oh" written all over that.
Davis and Quinones colliding. Rooms also came in there. Larkin pulled off the play, and Davis is still down.
Oh, boy. See, people talk about fundamental baseball without realizing nobody takes charge, and this is what happens. And it looked like Davis and Quinones getting their shoulders, arms entwined, and it appeared from the picture that Quinones took the worst of this, but it appears now that Davis does. Davis slamming down on his left shoulder, the whole body coming down on top of his, no? It must have sprained it somewhere in the collision. Credit Jeffries for being on second base, though. Rob Dibble is the pitcher, and the numbers on Davis of the problem.
Elster with a drive to center field. Davis coming on, makes the catch. Safe at home. Jeffries was held up by Perlazo, but he ignored it and scores the go-ahead run.
I'll tell you why I would have gone if I were Jeffries. Is because of the collision that Davis had earlier in the inning. He's a brilliant defensive outfielder, but there's no way that a guy with good speed is going to slow down right here. Excellent base running by Greg Jeffries.
That run is charged to Norm Charlton, who gave up the bloop double to Jeffries. As Jeffries under the tag easily. And it's 4-3 New York. An RBI for Elster, his 20th of the year. And now Rick Aguilar. That's high, 2-1.
They're chanting Dibble, Dibble. Well, it's certainly not nibble, I'll tell you that. This is what one thing this guy does.
A run in here in the bottom of the 7th to give New York a 1-run lead. Ball 4. That is the first walk issued by a Cincinnati pitcher today. And it'll bring up Juan Samuel. And if you know what happened yesterday, you will be watching this at bat rather closely. Fly ball into deep right field. O'Neill back, gone, home run Samuel.
Has got to be sending thank you cards to Rob Dibble, Norm Charlton, and all of the Reds for really sparking his ball club. Now, the fact that Samuel gets his first home run, that's probably coincidental. But I'll tell you one thing. Juan Samuel's presence with the New York Mets was enhanced by the incident in yesterday's ball game. No question about it.
Well,
the season. But if the Mets go on to win their division, it might be yesterday's action that provoked the winning of the National League East this year for New York, if that happens.
Dibble out of there, and more importantly, the truth is known and justice is done. Daniels skies one to left, and this should be the ball game as Kevin McReynolds puts it away, and the Mets, with a big 7th inning, defeat the Cincinnati Reds and win the series with a 6-3 final here today, the last meeting of the year between New York and Cincinnati. Rick Aguilera picks up the win in relief. His record is 4-3, and Norm Charlton, who faced just one batter, Greg Jeffries, who eventually scored the tie-breaking run, is the loser. It's Charlton's first loss of the year. He is now 3-1. Tim and I'll be back with the final word for you from Shea on a beautiful, magnificent afternoon after this for Nissan.
Howard Johnson still has his job, boy does he, in a big way. All last winter, Hojo was the subject of trade rumors, but he stayed at Shea, and today he has a new contract. The Mets signed the power-hitting third baseman to a 3-year contract worth $6.1 million. Hojo won't have a lot of time to talk about it, though, over the next few days. He's on his way to Anaheim as the only Met in tomorrow night's All-Star game. By the way, Hojo went 0 for 4 as the Mets played their last game before the All-Star break. Carl Shurkin has more.
Here we are at the All-Star intermission. The Mets, taking a little win streak into that break, have won 3 in a row, but still trail first-place Montreal by 2.5 games.
Pick up the Sunday highlights with a score tied 1-1, bottom of the second. Juan Samuel with a grounder to short. All-Star Barry Larkin boots it. Mackey Sasser and Kevin Elster score. It's 3-1. Mets lead it. Move ahead to the top of the fourth now. Bob Ojeda pitching to Reds catcher Jeff Reed. Take a look at Darryl Strawberry going back, bringing the ball back into the park. And Straw turns what should have been a 2-run homer into an inning-ending double play. Not exactly a heads-up play by Lenny Harris, don't you know? But how about this reaction by comedians Billy Crystal and Robin Williams up in the Channel 9 booth?
Jesus! Oh, America! Oh, well, that country, America! Oh.
What a way to head into the All-Star break. Bottom of the seventh, Elster sends the liner to center field. Eric Davis with the catch. Greg Jeffries tags and beats the throw to untie the game. And two of the major combatants from Saturday's brawl matching up. And it's see-you-later time for Juan Samuel taking Rob Dibble's pitch up and over the right field wall as the Mets win it 6-3. And hey, Juan, that Mets uniform starting to feel more comfortable, pal?
Well, it's still going to take me a little time. You know, it's not that easy after being away or playing for this other team for so long. I mean, you don't make the adjustment that quick. You still have to get used to your teammates.
For the record, that was Darryl Strawberry throwing in the towel. And first half of this baseball season with one of the big box office hits of the summer. I mean, goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Goodness, your records just quitting balls of fire. I let you love all I thought it was funny. You keep it long and you move now, honey. I changed my mind, look it's fine. Goodness gracious, quitting balls of fire. You kiss me, baby. Ooh, it feels good. Hold me, baby. Girl, just let me love you like a lover should. You're fine, so kind. I'm gonna tell this world that you're mine. I took my nails and I put on my thumb. I'm real nervous, but it sure is fun. Come on, baby, it drives me crazy. The goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Should.
Batting sixth, second in the league with 22 home runs from the New York Mets, number 20, third baseman Howard Johnson. Batting seventh, he ranks third among active National League. Although he retired on May 29th, he was elected by the fans to the National League third base position in recognition of his contributions to the game. From the Philadelphia Phillies, number 20, Mike Schmidt.
sense, he got a second chance. He was a backup infielder, and now suddenly has just signed a $6 million contract for the next 3 years.
Well, 36 home runs.
And he promptly bangs it to center for a base hit. Here comes Mitchell. Here comes a throw to the plate by Puckett, not in time, and the National League is leading 2-0. We'll take another look, because out there in center field, Kirby Puckett, who has 3 Gold Gloves and has 5 assists this year, gets off a dandy of a throw, but it's not nearly in time as Mitchell brings in the run. So the National League leads 2-0.
Playing football, I don't know if there's ever been anyone doing it. Hey.
He's remarkable, and look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello. Russell is greeted on the first pitch to Bo Jackson. He almost hit it out of state.
You know, that's going to set it up pretty interesting for him to the end of this season when he goes back to the Los Angeles Raiders.
Watch this again, sir.
It is different. I can't get quite used to this. Hey, that looks like it's going there, too.
Eric Davis to the track.
There it is.
Gone. A rather electrifying moment here in Anaheim with the National League leading 2-0. Consecutive home runs by Bo Jackson and Wade Boggs. And the last time we had consecutive home runs in an All-Star game was 1975.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball, too. Bo knows tennis?
Bo knows running.
No.
Bo knows cycling.
Bo knows weights.
Bo, you don't know diddly.
Howard Johnson.
All right, Vin, Hojo this week, a brand new contract worth $2 million per and an RBI single in the All-Star game. Not a bad stretch for you.
Yeah, it's been an enjoyable week for me. This All-Star game has been a lot of fun.
Now, here you are in a position with Mike Schmidt retiring where you might be the odds-on to be the starting shortstop for the starting third baseman for several years for the National League, but they're talking about moving you to shortstop. Now you got a vault over Ozzie and Barry Larkin.
I know, I'd rather stay at third, but, you know, I was talking to Mike before the game, and it's gonna be tough, you know, not to see him play. But, you know, hopefully I can play in a few more All-Star games.
Very briefly, is that the feeling you're getting now that you will play shortstop in the second half for the Mets?
They haven't told me anything, but I guess they're probably thinking about it, yeah.
Howard Johnson of the Mets back upstairs to Vin and Tom.
1 ball and 1 strike.
Taking a chance at getting double play. Get the lead out.
That's it right back to the box. Jones goes to Fernandez. Back to Mattingly, and that's it. On the double play, the American League shuts down the National and beats him 5-3. So the series now stands 37 wins for the National League, 22 for the American League in one tie. The winning pitcher in Anaheim, and how sweet that is to end the story, Nolan Ryan. And the losing pitcher would be John Smoltz. And I would think for a baseball fan, this had pretty much everything you want, especially in the early innings.
Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. You had a little bit of everything. You had power, you had speed, you had running, you had defense. You had just about everything, and they got a great show here tonight.
And so the National and the American League with handshakes all around. Good show. We'll be back in Anaheim for a few more post-game remarks coming up right after this.
He's hit .333 against Atlanta in his brief career, and this ball is gone. Goodbye. Forget it. It's out of here.
Well, Greg Jefferies told me that during the All-Star break, he was back in Northern California working out, took some batting practice. Pretty good start to the second half for Greg Jefferies, his second home run of the season. That's hard to believe.
Greg hit 6 home runs last year in 29 ball games when he came up in September.
Here's the stroke. Good stroke. As Mr. Kiner, who hit so many home runs, called it as soon as he made contact. You know the feel, huh?
I know the swing. That's the 7th home run given.
Else to catch me.
Johnson the third, 2 men away, and Keith hits it up the middle and a base hit. So Keith Hernandez is back as he drives in a run, and the Mets take the lead 2-0. Big 2-out base hit by Keith Hernandez.
See what happens when you get down to A ball and
he made the adjustment last year during the second half of the season. It helped him a lot.
He's left-handed, though.
If that's fair, it's out of here. Home run, Darryl Strawberry. They don't call this the launching pad for nothing. Boy, that's a shot out of here.
Well, you could hang a whole year's laundry on this one. This was a clothesline all the way, and Darryl gets his 18th home run. That's his 204th home run in the majors, and this ball is just a line drive. As Rusty called it, if it's fair, it's gone. There was no doubt about it. Bo Jackson eats your heart out.
He's hit a lot like that. I'm sure he find things. There's Gary Carter. Dr. Andrews told him to work that knee hard this next few days.
With all his troubles, that personality has not changed.
He's a heck of a man.
1-0 pitch. He gets jammed, looped it into right field. Base hit, RBI, Kevin Elster. He's going for 2. He'll make it easily as the ball got by Dale Murphy. So it looks like a single and an error, an RBI, and the Mets lead 5-1.
It's a good pitch to hit. It was that side-on fastball, but right down the middle almost.
5-0-5 against the Houston Astros. And the 1-1 pitch to Murphy is hit way up in the air and way out to center field, and Samwell is on a track and makes the grab for the final out. So Dale Murphy just missing a 2-run home run. A happy Ron Darling. He's now 7-6 with the complete game victory in his 19th start or his 18th start. And of course the final score, the Mets over the Braves, 5-1. And Rusty and I will be back.
Murphy's primarily going to be looking for the fastball.
And he gets it. So Murphy's Law does not prevail during that at-bat. 12 strikeouts for Fernandez. After 6, 2-2. Ralph joins Steve after this from the Wiz.
2-2 pitch. Got him. Strikeout number 14, and that sets a National League record for this year. Ties his own personal record for strikeouts in the ball game. And a 1-2-3 inning. The score at the end of 7. The Mets 2 and Atlanta 2. Now here's a word from your Lincoln Mercury dealers.
And be trailing in this ball game.
He wouldn't be batting right here.
That's right. He'd be gone. He might not have 14 strikeouts.
That is true. This ball hit deep to right. It might be his first one. Going, and it is caught at the wall. Dale Murphy as Sid Fernandez bids for his first Major League home run.
And look at the dugout. Boy, they were trying to push that ball over the fence. All of them. Sid Fernandez is a very popular guy on this team. He doesn't say much. And he's not the kind of guy to sort of run with the crowd. But he is a very popular player on the Mets ball club. And Dookie, as he is affectionately known, had a lot of rooting going on in that dugout for him.
Well, Sid almost got a chance to touch them all in a slow pace.
He works at it. And this ball had a shot, but not enough.
Sid doesn't like to run. His one wish.
And the curveball, see you later. Baby, 15 strikeouts ties the Major League high for 1989.
Boy, this is a Lord Charles right here. This is one of Sid's best curveballs. Watch it. It just freezes Baroa.
You could hear the parts locking up.
Some of the parts were missing on that one.
Sid has just been 16 Ks. A new Major League high for 1989.
Well, this is on the heater right here, the fastball. And the third time that McDowell has struck out. And it's strikeout 16. There's that peculiar motion that Sid has, and he's got it in gear tonight, a career high.
And the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in 1-2-3 inning. 16 Ks on the night for El Cid, but it's still tied at 2 as we go to the 9th after this for Michelob Drive. 387 in his last 20 games, and Sidney has struck him out swinging all 3 times up. A 2-2 tie in the 9th. Lonnie Smith high and deep to left field. Nick Reynolds back. The ball game is over. Must have done the trick. Sid Fernandez struck out 16 Atlanta Braves. But he was felled by the Homer Hankies in the 9th inning as Lonnie Smith wins the game for Atlanta 3-2 on the first pitch in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, this is the 7th time the Braves have won a ball game this year in their last at bat. Lonnie Smith's 14th home run. He has certainly been the offensive star for the Braves this year. And the Braves win a thrilling ball game by a score of 3-2. Sid Fernandez, a complete game, his second this year. He ended up with 16 strikeouts. He also ended up as a losing pitcher. He is now 7-3.
One-time work for the Mets is not well. We certainly wish her a recovery. Speedy recovery in that illness.
Oh, boy. Strawberry, tremendous drive to right field. 2-1 Mets. Baby. 4th home run against left-handed pitching this year after hitting 20 against left-handers last year. And I mean, he smoked that one. Woo!
Well, Darrell's 5th home run in his last 15 ball games, his 19th home run of the season. And Darrell also picking up his 21st home run against the Atlanta Braves in his major league career. And Bo Jackson eats your heart out. Wow.
My goodness. Strawberry had some of that candy. One more bite of candy after this shot. Woo!
Well, this could be a juicing advertisement here. He juiced this one. It was no doubt about it. Darrell coming into the dugout now. Check out this action with Ron Darling as he comes down into the dugout, gets the congratulations of some of his team. Now here's Darling.
That was midtown to downtown right there.
Nobody out. Sharply hit through the hole, base hit left field. Tuffle scores, and that's all. The bases remain loaded, and the Mets take a 3-1 lead, and David Cone 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And that's going to do it for Lilliquist. Ball isn't that sharply hit to Johnson, who gets rid of it in a hurry. And look where Gregg is. There's Jeffries getting the ball, and Tommy Gregg is right there. And all Jeffries can do is try to save himself. He can't even think about trying to throw the ball because Gregg's just taking him right on out of the play. Good play by Gregg to break up the double play.
He'll do it as Aguilera gives up 2 hits and leaves 2. And the score at the end is 7. The Mets 5 and Atlanta 4. Now here's a word from AT&T.
There's the ball game. Randy Myers had to work hard for it, but he strikes out Blauser to end the game. And
they do. We all know that. That's why they are now 5 games out of first after dropping a doubleheader to Houston. At home, no less. Okay, here we go. First game, Astros start early. They get 3 runs in the first against Ron Darling. This one drops in. That's really all they need on the way to a 6-0 win. Met killer Jim Deshaies pitches a 2-hitter. Just ask Darryl Strawberry how good he is. Game 2, the Mets give the ball to Dave West, promptly heads south. Slugger Glenn Davis takes West north. That is over the fence. It is 6-0. West lasts less than 3 innings. He gives up 8 runs. Final score 12-3.
Well, the Yankees.
A check of the National League standings a week after the All-Star break shows the Houston Astros making a move in the West on the leading San Francisco Giants, now just 2.5 games back. While in the Eastern Division of the National League, the Mets are falling, and falling from grace. They are now 1 percentage point behind St. Louis, virtually in 4th place in the division, 5 full games behind the hot Montreal Expos. And after last night's disastrous doubleheader loss, can they turn it around? We'll find out next here on Channel 9.
To 2.86. He has walked 43, struck out 97, given up 79 hits in 110 innings. He has a lifetime record against Western Division champions of the National League and met the New York Mets in the National League Championship playoffs.
Boy, was it memorable.
This ball hit the deep right center field. A long way to go for Young. It is out of here. Howard Johnson with a 2-run home run, and he continues to just tear up the National League.
Showing a great deal of emotion in the Mets dugout, probably realizing that that type of emotion is what the Mets need after a dreary evening last night, dropping 2 games to Houston. I tell you, it looked like he hit that ball with a hatchet. That ball was
some sort of year for Howard Johnson as the Mets lead 2-0.
That's a little turnover screwball, it appeared, from Bob Forsch. Gosh, red hot. And the bunt, and it's a good one, and Sasser will go to first base. Young had an idea about going to third, and the throw behind him nails him. Poor base base running by Gerald Young, who slept rounding second, and an alert Brett Jeffries threw to Howard Johnson for the third out. A very unusual double play. Fernandez still has faced the minimum through 2.5 and leads 2-0, and we're back after this from the good olds guys.
Up with a rib cage injury.
Line base hit. Strawberry had taken off. Johnson had stopped. So that was a hit and run where only one guy was running. That could have been disastrous, and turned out that McReynolds got a base hit.
McReynolds saved the day there because the wrong guy was running. The runner behind the lead runner.
If Fernandez strikes out.
Sharply by Yelding. Base hit. 1 run scores. 2 runs scores. 6-0 New York.
The Mets pitchers do it again. Sid Fernandez was with his second hit of the ball game. He gets his 4th and 5th runs batted in as he hits a shot by the second baseman, Yelding, and the throw home cut off by Davis. So Sid Fernandez driving in 2 big runs, insurance runs for the Mets, and they lead by a score of 6-0.
King book tonight. Hit right field. Sasser scores 7-0 New York.
No, that was your favorite play. I love it. Runners at first and second, and a hit and run. Well hit to center field and misplayed by Gerald Young. McReynolds will score. Here comes Hernandez. Jeffries going to third. The throw to the plate in time, and Hernandez is out.
You saw how he got up. His right leg was stiff, and the Mets not nearly as concerned with the play at the plate as much as they are the play at the plate, if you get my drift.
Yes. Hernandez, of course, already spending time on the DL.
Keith had to hold up. And it's easy for McReynolds to hold up because he can walk home. Young misplays it. Jeffries has a triple and an RBI, his second triple and his 30th RBI. But that right there is what the Mets are concerned about. Watch him get up.
And the way Keith slides here, he really bangs that knee. And that knee is padded. Watch it catch.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, baby.
Boy. And when you break a bone, you see the pain that Keith is under. But when you break a bone, it takes twice the force to break it again. But still, the area around that's got to be sore, lack of use. And Keith's sliding right on that right knee. Boy.
And it may be that he could injure his knee in another way.
Yeah,
that's not even related.
Yeah, nice single in the 3rd inning. And this one hit deep to left. Back is Hatcher. Out of here. Home run, Kevin McReynolds.
If you want to get on this train, you better hop aboard in a hurry because it's leaving the park quickly. I mean, that ball. Breaking ball, grounded up the middle. Flag down by Ramirez on a fine play. And he gets Elster at first to end the inning. That certainly was the sure stop of the game by Rafael Ramirez. Brought to you by Sure Deodorant. And we're back at Shea with the Mets leading 9-0 in spite of that. After this for the good old guys. And then Greg Gross with 3 scheduled hitters in the ninth. Grounded into the hole. Elster over. Yelding can run, but he got him. Fine play by Kevin Elster.
Well, there is no question about Elster's range, glove, and check out the arm. Boy, this is a powerful throw right here.
Off the wrong foot. And I mean, Yeldon can get down there in a hurry.
88 consecutive games without an error and all.
1-2. Ball game is over. Randy Myers with a strikeout in the ninth. The Mets' 5th shutout of the season. And the dearth of complete games continues. That is the 4th combined shutout for the Mets staff. Art Howe and the Astros with a little bit of payback for their doubleheader hammering of New York last night, as the Mets win it here tonight 9-0. 5 runs in the third. The big outburst moves behind him with 3 and 2 and 2 out. Darrell hits it deep into the night in right. Home run. That's what they come to see, and they were not disappointed as Strawberry just crushes one to tie the game at 2.
On a 3-2 pitch, a slider, and Darrell gets it. That is the 7th home run given up by Jim Clancy. It ties the ball game, and Strawberry now with his 20th of the year. That is number 206 in his major league career. And look at the swing he put on there. He was actually out in front of that ball, but he adjusted to it and got the hands working right.
Well, you know how strong Darryl Strawberry is, as McReynolds nubs one back to Clancy, and the inning is over. Strawberry fooled on the pitch and still hit it 400 feet. 2-2 after 4. Home runs have been the story, and we're back to Shea after this for the New York Daily News.
Steal home, Winokur, huh? Ball in the hole, and it goes on through, and Jeffries goes to third. So Sasser with a big base hit, putting runners at first and third with no one out in this tie ball game at 2.
Do that all the time.
Ground ball, and it's off of the glove of the third baseman, and a base hit. The Mets take the lead as Jeffries scores from third, and they lead it by a score of 3-2 as Elster makes contact and drives in the go-ahead run.
That's a big base hit for Kevin Elster. The way he has struggled this year and so often failed in situations like this, as he has struggled. Look at Reynolds get up. Reynolds got up there 3 feet off the ground, but Craig just couldn't come down with the ball. Even if he had come down with the ball, Jeffries probably still would have been able to score. And
baseman ahead of the cut of the grass. And he squares and bunts it. And the play on gets thrown away. The play on third, and coming around to score is Mackey Sasser. And on the air, the Mets lead 4-2.
is going to be charged, I would assume, to the third baseman Reynolds, who makes the throw. But I thought this ball should have been handled. Ramirez looked as if he stretched too soon. Rafael Ramirez anticipated where the throw was going to go and stretched in a particular direction, which limited his reach. And he actually could have caught the ball had he not stretched so soon. But the error will be charged to Reynolds. The cones, I love that. This is great. Traffic cones. Line drive, base hit, center field. Here comes Mackey. Here comes the throw from Gerald Young. Safe. Monday night, nothing went right for New York. Last night and tonight, everything has gone right.
And the pitchers continue to hit. David Cone gets his 10th hit. That leads the Mets pitchers in base hits, and his 3rd run batted in. Good job by Sassers. He scores on the throw home by Young. Mets pitchers are hitting.
Looking for strike 3 or out 3. Grounded to short. Elster gets an eye-high hop, and the game is over. David Cone sets him down in order in the 9th inning and pitches his 4th complete game of the year. And the Mets have come back the last 2 nights with a vengeance after losing the doubleheader to Houston Monday night, as they win it tonight 8-2 after a 9-0 victory last night. David Cone now 7-5 on the year. Jim Clancy, the starter for Houston, who went 4 2/3 as the loser, and his record is now 5-7. Ralph and I'll be back to wrap it up from Shea right after this for the American Express Gold Card.
Around a baseball scene.
Very close to Nolan Ryan. Nolan pitching out there. Very close to Jimmy Reese. 3-2 pitch to Ron Darling. Oh, boy!
Hit him right on the head.
Oh, right on the head. To the batting helmet.
Well, you could hear the thud all over the ballpark, and of course Curry wasn't throwing at him. It was a 3-2 pitch.
He's as concerned as anybody. He's right in there looking at Ron Darling. No way are you going to throw at Ron Darling in a situation like that. Anybody that gets into the big leagues after 1982 has to wear that helmet with the flap.
That's one of the greatest things that ever happened to baseball. One of the great rules put in. And it was started back in the late 40s that you had to wear some protective helmet padding. And then later on they got into the fiberglass helmets and the type of helmets they use now that can take the blow. At one time they used just padding in there. But you'd slip little shields into the felt cap that you were wearing for purposes. And this ball right at his head.
Oh.
And it appears it hit him at the top part of the helmet, which was very fortunate. If that ball had hit him in the face, it would have been horrible.
Russ Nixon just went out to talk to Clary. Clary's more shook up about it than Ron Darling.
I can believe that.
I was talking about the Strawberry hits the ball a long way to left field. It's way back. It's home run, Darryl Strawberry, number 22.
Darryl Strawberry's son looking on as he hits a home run for the 2nd time in this 2-game series. Last night his son saw him hit one. Both of them 2-run home runs, and the Mets take the lead 3-2. Clary giving up his 3rd home run of the year. And Strawberry with 208 in his major league career.
And Kevin McReynolds just misses one, hits the ball way up in the air. Big league fly ball, but it's an out.
Incidentally, Darryl Strawberry and Howard Johnson now have taken the lead for home runs by teammates in the National League, surpassing Kevin Mitchell and Will Clark. They have 47 total. Talking about Howard Johnson and Darryl Strawberry, as you look at that swing, man, he is strong.
Oh, that ball was beyond where it usually hits. 3-2.
Against the Mets this year. Short lead at first. Little slow liner to first. Darling, quick throw, double play. What quick reactions for Ron Darling. And that quick reaction is going to let him lead this top of the 4th inning with a 3-2 lead. A lot of winks. Something's in his eyes. Here's the throw. He's out. Good throw that time by Mackey Sasser to end this top of the 5th inning. Mets still ahead, 4-2. Normal lead for Strawberry. Shot down the line. This is going to be for extra bases. Strawberry round second. Coming hard into third. He's being waved into the plate. Here comes the relay throw. Slide. Safe. And McReynolds goes into third.
Exciting ball game here at Shea Stadium. McReynolds drilling the ball down the left field line, and as Rusty told you, the runner was being waved around. Darryl Strawberry. Smith hits the cutoff man. The throw into home plate, and not in time, although bang bang play at the
Jeffries. Line drive to center. That's going to score McReynolds. It's a sacrifice fly to deep center for young Jeffries. To overwaste the pitch.
And the breaking ball gets him. So Randy Myers strikes out Tommy Gregg with the bases loaded to end the inning. 1 run scoring that was charged to Ron Darling. There were 2 hits, both given up by Darling, and 3 men left on base. Fly ball hit out to right field, way back is Strawberry on the warning track, and he one-hands it as the Mets won the ball game. So Randy Myers, with the help of a nice catch by Darryl Strawberry, picks up the save. That is his 14th of the year. Ron Darling gets the win. He is now 8-7. His second win over the Atlanta Braves this year against no losses. And the Mets now have won 4 straight, winning the first 2 games here against the Atlanta Braves in the 4-game series. Losing pitcher was Marty Clary, and his record 3-1, his first loss of the year. He had also beat the Mets earlier this year. He's now 1-1 against the Mets. And we'll be back with a wrap-up right after these messages. That is called hitting with power.
And he fouls the ball right below us. Strike 1. 0-1 on Hojo. That's conducive to getting good pitches to hit.
Well, the 3rd spot in the batting order is good, but he has produced everywhere he's been. He's been in 6 batting positions this year. And of course,
Hojo. And he hits a long drive down the left field line. Will it stay fair? Fair ball off the wall. Extra bases, Howard Johnson. A stand-up double and an RBI. Mets on top, 1-0. What a year.
well, Howard Johnson is tied for the league lead in 2-base hits with this 2-base hit. It just missed being a home run. About a 1.5 feet below the top of the fence, and Howard Johnson drives in another run. That is his 62nd, and he is really doing a job. He is tied for 4th in RBIs in the net.
3-2. He hits a rope, fair ball. Extra bases for Strawberry, and an RBI. Murphy's getting the ball back in as Johnson crosses the plate. 2-0 Mets. And another double. 3 doubles in this inning.
And a good example of what I was talking about.
That was worth the wait.
Well, that home run ties Darryl Strawberry and Howard Johnson for combined home runs by teammates with Kevin Mitchell and Will Clark. They now each of those combinations have 46 combined home runs.
Kevin McReynolds, the batter. Changeup down low, ball one. McReynolds, his first time up, grounded out.
Darryl getting his 21st home run of the year, and this ball gets out of here in a hurry. He just jumped all over that hanging curveball and drilled it against the sign out above the fence.
Down low to McReynolds. He's through with this. Watch his motions. Watch his body motion after he takes a pitch. Ooh, another chance.
He was waiting for the hammer.
Yes, he knew it was a strike.
Runners going. Oh, the ball's hit very deep. That's a home run. This game's tied up. If it's fair, foul ball. Mets get a break.
Oh, boy. What a break. I thought it was fair. He thought it was fair. But see
that
the way,
ball really hooked.
See the way the wind's blowing? As you look at the flags.
Let's take a look at Darrell Evans and see what he thinks.
Watch his body English. Oh!
Giving up only 2 hits. In the 5 2/3 innings he's pitched. Getting a nice hand from the fans. These are the stalwart fans. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Aguilera does the job. The Braves strand 3. It's still 4-1 Mets.
Now to the National League, where the Mets continue to hang tough in the East. They started the night 3 behind the front-running Expos, New York rolling out the mat for the Braves, the club that had come from behind the past 2 nights to turn the tables on Montreal. Shea Stadium, the site for tonight's action. We pick it up top of the first, Howard Johnson.
They put a little something in.
Looking to do something against Derek Lilliquist, and he does it. Drives it deep to left. Is it? No, it's not out of here, but off the wall. That scores Juan Samuel, and Johnson's got the double. Rain delay, no problem. They're going to wait it out. They come back, top of the third, 2-0 Mets. After the second rain delay, bottom of the third, I should say, Darryl Strawberry, boy, no doubt about that one, off the sign, gives the Mets a 4-0 lead. The Braves come back and get a run. Well, let's bring in Rick Aguilera, see if he can do it. In relief of Bob Ojeda, and he strikes out the side in the 8th inning. In fact, he struck out 7 of the last 10 guys he faced. Mets win it 4-1. Bob Ojeda picks up the win, snapping a personal 4-game losing streak. Montreal tonight, winners over field bases.
There he goes. Line drive into center. Samuel rounding second, going into third. They better pay attention. He's going to try for it. Throw into second base. Here comes the runner. Throw in safe. What a great base running play and a call by Sam Palazzo at third base.
Stay with Sammy. He'll give you the smile. Great coaching by Sammy Palazzo. Here it is again. The runner was in motion. Juan Samuel, Dave Magadan stinging the ball into right center field. And Sammy Palazzo sending Juan Samuel. How about this? A single and an RBI, and the runner was on first base.
Great base running, great coaching. Howard Johnson up.
League in home runs. Really held up. 1-2 pitch. A long fly ball to deep center field. Samuel on his horse. Out of here! I don't believe it. Dale Murphy, home run, 3-run homer. Ball game is tied up. And the sounds of silence at Shea. do it for the Braves, but they come back here in the 8th inning, picking up 3 runs. But stay with us. He's leading off, Greg Jeffries. And the score after 7.5, it's all tied at 5. Time up. Double to left field in the 5th inning, and then a triple to left field in the 6th inning. We're in the bottom of the 8th, and we're all tied at 5. 1-2 pitch. A looper to left field. Will it fall? No. Lonnie Smith making the play. 1 down.
Fans, a big round of applause and appreciation for Jeffries' efforts tonight.
The catcher.
1-0 on Elston. There goes Lombardi. The ball front and play. Base hit. And Lombardi going all the way to third base. Good aggressive managing by Davy Johnson. Bad leg and all, he put Lombardi in motion, and because of that, Elster got a hit.
I'll tell you, one of the big things about that, Elster just kind of went with the ball and pulled it. They vacated shortstop, anticipating if there was one. Thomas covered. This is just, you could run a Mack truck through shortstop.
An important at bat for the Mets team, and also a very important at bat for Lee Mazzilli. Maz batting 169, 2 home runs. He's done it in the past, number 13.
He does have a home run as a pinch.
The 2-0 pitch. Pull the first base hit over the first baseman's head. Mazzilli with a clutch base hit. The run scores, 6-5 Mets. Runners still on the corners, and a clutch hit for Lee Mazzilli. And everybody's pulling for him. How about Kevin Elster pointing at Lee Mazzilli?
Everybody knows this is tough times for Maz. A big decision has to be made on Tuesday when both Carter and Lyons come back. It's another plus in his corner.
Russ Nixon not very happy. A big hit for the Mets and a big hit.
Here it is. Drives it right down on that hard mud in front of home plate, and it goes over Evans at first. As Lombardi scoring. The toss in as Elster moves to third. Here's a look at Maz. Drives it down. When he sees it go over his head, he knows he's in there.
And Juan Samuel, the batter. Take 1-2. Shot. Thomas, nice play. He gets Mazzilli at second. Another run scores. 7-5 Mets.
On the play, the run score.
That's better than a big league play. Oof. There's a guy who has to be happy. Lee Mazzilli. 2-1 pitch. Fly ball left field. It's over McReynolds' head. He goes back and makes the grab for out number 3. So the Mets win the ball game. Good effort by Randy Myers. An exciting ball game here at Shea Stadium, and Davy Johnson's got to be happy. Did a fine job maneuvering tonight, calling some aggressive moves on the part of the New York Mets. So give Randy Myers a save. And the ball game's over. The final score, the Mets 7, the Braves 5, and Rusty and I will return.
A little less than half that many this year.
Grounded sharply by Evans at third. 2 runs are going to score. Johnson being held at third. 2-0 Mets.
And Los Angeles Times sports writer in the Ford C. Frick Award
category, and Sasser promptly rips one to right. Jeffries will be held at third again, 4-0 New York, as Sasser on the first pitch greets Valdez.
hitting boots on already.
And it's the extra base hit parade again. 2 doubles. McReynolds to left and now Sasser to right.
Base hit left field. Sasser had to hold up at second to see if the ball was going to be caught. So it's 5-0 Mets. Inning in some time, if at all, this year. Line drive, base hit. Sasser scores. 6-0 New York as Elster stops at second. And that's going to be all for Sergio Valdez.
Mookie Wilson's second hit of the inning. And as you mentioned earlier, Timmy, about a year ago, Mookie got red hot. And he won some games for them, but more often than not, they've fallen short. Sharply hit to third. Johnson goes to second. Jeffries to first, and the ball game is over. The Braves come up short again as the Mets finally close it out in the ninth and sweep Atlanta here at Shea in this 4-game series, winning the finale this afternoon 7-2. David Cone picks up the win, his 8th of the year. And Sergio Valdez is the starter and loser for Atlanta. His record is 0-1. And the Mets have won the last 6 this season against Atlanta to close out the season series with a 10-2 record. Tim and I'll be back to wrap it up. Ralph Kiner, via the magic of videotape, will have a Kiner's Corner for you. So stay with us.
The Mets go for 7 in a row tonight at Shea. Bob Ojeda against Doug Drabek of Pittsburgh. Gary Carter is back from his knee injury. So, Gary, when will you play?
Well, right now, Len, it looks as though I'm going to play tomorrow. Davey has indicated that he's going to go with Mackey Sasser tonight against the right-hander Doug Drabek and play me tomorrow against the left-hander John Smiley.
Gary, is your career on the line during the next several weeks? You don't have a contract for next year, so do you have to deliver now, or that's it for the Mets?
Well, I would think so. I would, I guess, agree to all indications that the next 2 months are kind of up to me, and I'm just hoping that I'm able to come through. And I know that I don't have a contract for next year, but it's kind of a wait-and-see thing, Len. I'm hoping that I can prove myself and help these Mets into another world championship, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, but as expected today, the Mets releasing 34-year-old Lee Mazzilli. He spent 2 tours of duty with the Mets, batting just .183 as a pinch hitter this season. I just talked with him on the phone. He said he's not so sure his playing days are over. He'll think about it during the next several days, and he says, thanks, New York, for everything.
Well, we don't have the answer to this question, all the questions about the Mets, but we do have a good part of the equation for you. After winning 6 in a row, the Mets get swept away 3 straight by the Pirates the past few days. The numbers alone can't tell the story, however, of the '89 Mets, but they can sure help. Let's try and put some of them in perspective for you. You see, timing is the most important thing. For instance, the club's fielding percentage is just about the same as it was last year. But the mental errors they got away with before, no more. Top of the first, Thursday, Sid Fernandez late covering third. Jose Lean takes an extra base as Jeff King goes from first to second while Sid picks up his hat before he picks up the ball. Now, come on, Sidney, get those priorities straight, will you, son? Both runners come on to score on a base hit by Barry Bonds. It's 2-0 Pittsburgh and 3 more to come in the first inning. And there they go. See you later time for R.J. Reynolds. It's 5-0 Pirates. And if it seems Mets pitchers are giving up more runs than they did a year ago, they are. The Mets team earned run average 2.91 in '88, now about 3.40. Giving up an extra half run a game is a lot. And while they're giving up more, the Mets are scoring a few less. Their team batting average with men in scoring position actually 3 points higher than last year. The usually clutch Keith Hernandez has only 13 RBIs, his playing time limited by injuries. But Darryl Strawberry is killing the Mets, hitting a horrific .231. Each strikeout seemingly coming at some crucial point. And you could almost forgive and forget that if Straw didn't play the field like he's already thinking about his next at-bat. 7th inning yesterday, Straw was lost in space on that Jay Bell fly ball. He misplays into a 3-run triple as the Pirates come from behind to beat the Mets 10-8. So here we are with game number 100 set for this afternoon against second place Chicago. David Cone goes against Scott Sanderson out at Wrigley Field, and going in, the third place Mets stand 5 full games behind the East leading Montreal Expos.
The Yankees have these days spread to their younger cousins in Flushing today. The Mets are quite ill. They had a 3-game losing streak, put on intensive care after dropping another killer in Chicago. They used a 5-run third inning, and Davey Johnson's favorite weapon, a 3-run homer by Howard Johnson, is 26 to take a 5-2 lead over the Cubs. Kevin Elster's 2-run single capped the scoring. David Cone left with a 5-3 lead in the 7th, but Rick Aguilera, taking a page from the recent Yankee relief corps, blew the lead for the 3rd time in a week. He allowed a run-scoring single to Ryan Sandberg that made it 5-4. And then Dwight Smith broke the hearts of Met fans, brought a packed Wrigley Field house to its feet. A blast to right, a 2-run homer, make Aggie a 6-5 loser, and left one cone head shaking in the wind. Davey Johnson elected to pinch hit lefty Keith Hernandez against lefty Mitch Williams in the 8th with the tying run on. He flew out with Samuel Tuffle carrying, and Lyons still on the bench. And in the 9th, with Samuel on first and 1 down, Hojo popped to short left. Sherwin Dunston made a nice catch, reeled around, almost choked when he saw Samuel so close to second. Double play, end of game, Mets lose 6-5. Now Ted Power and 2 others combined for the shutout as St. Louis beat Montreal 2-0, so the Mets stay 5 back.
Coming all season long, and there's no stopper out on the mound for the Mets, neither a starter nor a relief pitcher. And the Mets have tumbled all the way from 1st to 4th in the NL East. At Wrigley Field, the Cubs have been putting up some big numbers on the scoreboard. Just thought you might like to meet the guys who hang them. Way to go, guys. Bottom of the 1st, this is Andre Dawson with the fly ball to Kevin McReynolds in left field. Ryan Sandberg tags, and there should be a play coming at the plate. But Gary Carter drops the throw, Sandberg scores, and it's 1-0 Cubbies. In the 3rd, Bobby Ojeda walks Lloyd McClendon with the bases loaded, forcing in a run to make it 2-0. And yeah, Davey Johnson's got some serious problems, like this. In the 4th, Dunston takes the pitch from Bobby O up and over the left field wall, and it's 3-0 Cubbies. And this hurts in the 6th. Mets within 1 when Jerome Walton sends the fly ball to McReynolds. Dunston tags, fakes going, but when the throw sails by Carter, Dunston comes in to make it 4-2. In the 7th, Keith Hernandez with a clutch pinch hit. The Mets get even at 4 apiece as Carter and Kevin Elster score. And if you're looking for signs of encouragement, this animated Mets dugout about the best you're going to get. But forget about it in the 9th. See you later time for Mark Grace, the Cubs first baseman's first game-winning home run. And it comes off Randy Myers, too. The Cubbies sweep the Mets out of town the final Sunday 6-4. Next up for New York, the 3rd-place Cards tonight in St. Louis.
Well, with a big losing strike on their tail, the Mets have gone into a trade. Well, with a big losing strike on their tail, the Mets have gone into a trade and have come back with a big fish. Frank Viola, the best pitcher in baseball last season, brought his glove to the National League today. And as Channel 2's Mike Taibbi reports, that's not the only change on the Mets diamond.
It hasn't been excellence, but frustration and losing that have been the Mets' lot again and again. It's 7 straight losses now, and 7 behind the Expos. There had to be changes, and there have been. Center fielder Mookie Wilson, whose immortal squib traversed Bill Buckner's wickets in the '86 series, goes to Toronto. He's 33 now, barely hitting his weight, seeing almost no playing time. See you, Mook. And David West, the kid pitcher who's failed to deliver on all that promise, and Rick Aguilera, who's been around a bit and shown flashes as a starter, as they say, were shipped to Minnesota just before the stroke of the midnight trading deadline for one Frank Viola from East Meadow by way of St. John's U.
It's nice to be going home. You know, if it had to be somebody, I'm glad it's New York because, as I said, I'm very familiar with the area. It should be fun.
The local kid lugs home a troubled season and a $7.9 million contract that caused him untold grief in Minneapolis. But he's also the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner, one of the best arms in the game. The Mets fans at the advance ticket window mostly gave a cautious hooray.
Yeah, the Mets could be in contention with him, especially with Gooden out. He could be helpful.
I think he'll help the Mets somewhat.
Though some wished for other pitchers.
Koufax.
Koufax. Not Frank Viola? But Viola has had extraordinary stretches as a thrower of baseballs, undefeated as a junior at St. John's, the 24 wins last year. His college coach says, just give him a challenge.
I've become a World Series pitcher, Cy Young type of year. Prove he can do it in both weeks.
As that noted baseball sage Annie Savoy put it in the movie Bull Durham, trade's a part of baseball. Why, who could forget Milt Pappas for Frank Robinson, for God's sake? It's a long season, and you've just got to trust it. True, the long season has shrunk to just 60 games now, and the Mets haven't shown any signs of being a player away from making a pennant run. But fans seem to be trusting the long season up in the Bronx today, where Viola made a brief appearance to say goodbye to his Twins teammates and to pick up his gear. The fans said the right things, for Frank Viola and for themselves.
So you can turn those mitts around.
Mike Taibbi, Channel 2 News.
No trades for Frank.
Knows what lies ahead. Thank you, Matt. The Mets needed more than Frank Viola last night. They probably could have used about 10 of them. They lost their 7th in a row. 2 outs in the 8th. Darryl Strawberry can be the hero. Instead, his pop-up kills the rally. The Mets lose to the Cardinals 3-2. That pushes the Mets 7 full games behind Montreal. They now are just 3 games above the 500 mark.
Well, first of all, I'm tickled pink to get Frank Viola. You know, we lost a couple of good guys in getting him, what you have to do to get a quality pitcher like Frank Viola. But I'm looking forward to working with him and just hope that he can give us a lift. We certainly need one right now.
I think the reaction on the trade is very positive to the ball club. I think everybody's pleased about the whole situation. Frank Viola is an outstanding pitcher, and you know, to have Frank Viola on our staff with Dwight Gooden and also the rest of the pitcher staff, I think it's going to motivate the ball club a little bit more, and hopefully we can be successful throughout the rest of the season.
Well, the addition of Frank Viola to this club is one I think was really needed. I think it's going to give us a little shot in the arm, and the one thing we're going to get out of him is every 5 days that he pitches, we're going to get a complete competitor out there. He's been humbled before. I played with him in the minor leagues, and he's a good quality pitcher and a guy that you'd like to have on your ball club. He doesn't think he's better than anybody else, and he carries a great attitude.
But the trade, it definitely was a shocker getting Viola, but it's going to be an honor watching him perform, you know, every 5 days. Definitely going to help the ball club, and we always had a great staff. Now I got to say we have the best staff.
Certainly indicates he's an outstanding pitcher. And Viola, of course, probably would not be here if Dwight Gooden hadn't been shut down. Dwight hasn't been able to pitch and might not pitch for another 2 or 3 weeks. And the Mets just got to have that stopper. And Frank Viola is going to be the man that will be put in that position.
Well, he's done it before. He went
for the Mets. Sid Fernandez with a record of 8-3, no decisions against the Cardinals this year, an earned run average of 2.95. He has pitched 125 innings.
Still low and high.
In the American League, they used to have all balloon chest protectors, which kept the umpire from getting low. There's a drive to left, bouncing over the head of Coleman and against the fence in left field. McReynolds hustling around second now has to hold as Coleman gets it back in. So instead of the walk, McReynolds has a leadoff double.
He'd much rather that.
10 games, and there's Gary Carter, who is sitting this one out. This ball hit out to left field. Coleman broke back, now breaks in, and he loses the ball. And going to second is Lyons as McReynolds comes in to score. The Mets lead it by a score of 1-0. So Coleman totally misjudging the ball, and the Mets take the lead.
Well, what he heard.
I wanted him to do that, Ralph, but he should pull the ball. And he does. Base hit to right. This could be close at the plate. Bernansky, a good arm. Here comes the runner. The throw is there, but he calls him safe. Samuel's foot got in through Pena. RBI single for Howard Johnson.
Aggressive coaching by Sammy Palazzo as he sends a runner in with no one out. And the play is close. Bernansky leads the club in assists with 5, and he makes a powerful throw, misses the cutoff man. The throw all the way in on the fly. And Samuel, with his power, gets in to home plate before the tag is made, according to home plate umpire Steve Ripley. And the play at the plate allows Johnson to go on down to second because the throw wasn't low enough to be cut off. So indirectly, not a good throw by Bernansky. It was too high.
To be extremely aggressive at third. Darryl, fly ball deep to center. Thompson back. This is way back there. What a catch by Thompson. Tag up at second base. Howard Johnson to third, holding. 1 foot on the turf and 1 foot on the mud on a turf field like this. Fly ball deep to left. This ball's way back there. This is out of it. Home run. Kevin McReynolds, a 2-run home run to left field.
Herzog out to the mound, and that should be all for Scott Terry. He gives up his 12th home run of the year while striking out 2 and walking 1. So Kevin McReynolds, with his 131st career home run, his 8th against the St. Louis Cardinals in his career in the major leagues of 7 years. And there's no doubt about it.
The 0-1 pitch. Looper in a center field base hit. 3rd hit of the game for McReynolds, and he picks up another RBI. So a big game for Kevin McReynolds.
Howard Johnson scoring on the play. He did what he had to do.
2-1 on Dave Magadan. There go the runners. Line drive, base hit. Could be extra bases. 2 runs will score. Strawberry scores. The ball's thrown in, and Magadan going for 3. They got him. But 2 runs scoring, and Dave Magadan with a double. 7-0 Mets.
Magadan smiling on that play. He's very pleased with the double. Hits it right in the gap, just over the second baseman. It's going to go all the way back there. Outfielders coming around. Good play off the wall.
Hernandez night here at Busch Stadium. He's shutting him out. 7-0. Final score from Pittsburgh. Montreal 5, Pittsburgh 4 in 11 innings. Successful, sometimes unsuccessful. 3-2 pitch, drive down the right field line. Extra bases. Could be 3 more RBIs for Kevin McReynolds. McReynolds on his way to 3rd base, and he has picked up 3 more RBIs. And how about McReynolds on 3rd base? He's hit for the cycle. Who was the last Met to do that? Keith Hernandez in Atlanta?
Yes.
What a night for Kevin McReynolds.
6 RBIs. Here's a look at it. Martin out over the plate, just out of reach of Bernansky. Bernansky struggles to get back for this ball. The only reason why this play is going to be a little close at home plate is Darryl Strawberry thought he was going to be held up at 3rd base. Watch how close this play is.
Kevin McReynolds wouldn't allow it. He fouled him right around 2nd base. He's in action as you're looking at the man who hit for the cycle. Kevin McReynolds. Did you ever do that?
Never.
Ground ball to 3rd, and they gave the run. It's now 11-0.
My point.
So if you were managing, you would have had him in, and you would have cut the run off at the plate.
Nothing says you behind 10-0. You're supposed to say uncle.
Well, it's 11-0. What a night for Kevin McReynolds. Swung on in this, strike 3. Outstanding job by Sid Fernandez. A 4-hit shutout when the Mets needed it most. Talk about a stopper, Mr. Staub.
He has done it for the New York Mets. It's been a very consistent period of time for Sid. Seems like every time they've really needed a victory, he's been the one, especially since Dwight Gooden's injury. David Cone has come along, but Sid's been the one guy who has pitched brilliantly.
So Sid Fernandez handcuffing the St. Louis Cardinals here at Busch Stadium. The line score here at Busch Stadium, the Mets 11 runs, 15 hits, and no errors. The Cardinals no runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher, obviously, Sid Fernandez, once again a 4-hit shutout. Losing pitcher Scott Terry. Here's Sid getting a final out. Strike striking out Pedro Guerrero for his first strikeout of the game. As you mentioned, Mr. Staub, he didn't have that strikeout pitch tonight.
Especially the way he's pitched this particular season. In this particular game, I don't think he probably threw as many pitches as he normally does, because when you do strike out a lot of people, you've got to throw the ball very often. But there's a very happy new addition to the New York Mets.
And tomorrow night, he grew up a Met fan. He'll toe the rubber for the New York Mets, Frank Viola. And we'll be back in just a moment.
Trying to hold on and keep the Expos in their sights in the East. As we told you last night, just moments before the trading deadline expired, New York swung a deal with Minnesota and picked up Cy Young Award winner Frank Viola. He will start tomorrow. But the Mets paid a price, too, because they have given up some strong young arms, like Rick Aguilera, 27 years old, has proven himself as a starter and a reliever for the Mets. He'll be a starter for the Twins, I'm told. There's also 24-year-old David West, a lefty. He has struggled in 2 starts, but showed some big flashes of brilliance in the minors. Kevin Tapani, 7-5 at AAA Tidewater, while Tim Drummond, 5-1 at Tidewater, and there's still another player to be named later. As for Viola, he has certainly proven himself for the Twins, and he knows he's now got to do it for the Mets.
I'm very happy sitting here with the opportunity to put on the Mets uniform and go out and try helping them as best I can. It was a kind of tough year this year, starting with the contract and then the trade talks the last couple of weeks, but I have a lot of fond memories of Minnesota. I'll never forget winning the World Championship with them, and we never expected it. But now I have another job to do, and that's to do the best job I can and try getting the Mets or help the Mets out.
We know that we got a long way to go yet, but I think a player of his stature could really turn us around.
Proven pitcher throughout his whole career. He's a great pitcher, and I'm just thrilled to have him, and it's going to be great, watching him perform on the mound.
And remember, Mr. Met now, the newest Mr. Met, Frank Viola, will start tomorrow against the Cards at Busch. And his acquisition and a $7.9 million deal gives the Mets the biggest payroll in the game. Viola is now paid more than Dwight Gooden, and it's going to be fun to see how long that will last. The average Met player is taking home $831,000 and change. But recently, that club hasn't been worth a plug nickel. Looking to snap a 7-game losing streak tonight at Busch. Bottom of the 4th, 1-0 New York. Sid Fernandez serves it up to Pedro Guerrero, and Juan Samuel brings it down. Some defense there to keep it 1-0. In the top of the 6th, it's 2-0 when Kevin McReynolds blasts it deep into the left field stands. A 2-run shot to make it 4-0, and McReynolds wasn't done yet. Top of the 9th, bases loaded. McReynolds goes the other way. Bruno can't come up with it. That's going to bring everybody in. And McReynolds doesn't stop until he gets to 3rd. And that was the end of a big, big night for McReynolds and a big, big night for the Mets as they snap that 7-game skid in style. 11-0 the final from Busch. And Sid Fernandez, the beneficiary, as he goes to 9-3 and actually was quite well on the hill. Tossed a 4-hit shutout. And now that you've got all the scores, it's time for us to point out the guys who really shine this evening. I'm talking about the stars of the night, and heading up the list, no question about it, the Mets' Kevin McReynolds. He becomes just the 5th Met to hit for the cycle. Yes, he did it all. Keith Hernandez did it 19 innings back in '85. The last to do it in 9 innings was Mike Phillips in June of '76. The single, double, triple, homer, 4-run score, 6 RBIs for the Big Mac attack. And Kevin McReynolds certainly one of the stars of the night, but not alone. Who else have we got? Well, how about teammate Howard Johnson? Hojo went 3 for 4, had a ribby, scored 3 times, and 2 stolen bases to give him 28 stolen bases on the season. Alvin Davis